everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. We are here to bring you some live coverage of former President Trump's news conference. He is giving a news conference. We don't know what he's going to talk about, but he's giving a news conference coming up in about 25 minutes, and we're going to bring you live coverage. He is in California today. He is going to be giving it from the Trump National Golf Course, Los Angeles. Now, I will give you a warning. The last time he did this, the last time he said he was giving a news conference, he ended up just talking for about 45 minutes and then not taking any questions. Although the one before that, he did take questions. So he says they say it's a news conference. He's supposed to take questions. But I can't guarantee everything. I can't guarantee anything for you. So we'll have to see what happens. So we're going to cover it. Well, you know what? Give me 2 seconds here. I need 2 seconds. Oops, sorry. I was going to take 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just setting up the broadcast. If you give me 2 seconds, I'm just setting up the broadcast. Thanks for your patience. Okay. Sorry. I think the way we're going to do it is Right Side Broadcasting has been very nice enough to allow me to use their footage. But I need to just get this ready here for you and also get their credit on the screen. So if you give me a second here, I'm setting this up, and then what I'll be able to do is take your comments on the air. Okay, so we'll do that over there. Do this one over there. Okay. I'm just finishing setting this up. Thanks for your patience. And we'll be good to go. The last thing I want to do is... Good. C1. I think we're good to go. Okay. Very good. I'm going to be reading some comments from you guys, too. Comments coming up from you guys. All right? Look, Trump stumps in the West. He's stumping in the West today. He is stumping in the West. Okay. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks, by the way, to Mr. Blanks-a-lot. That's so nice of you, Mr. Blanks-a-lot. I really appreciate that. And also thank you to... no, he's not announcing he's dropping out. This is part of his campaign day. This was planned. This wasn't suddenly announced. We knew he was going to do this as of yesterday. Thanks to RJ, who is moderating, and Linda Belk and Larry, who are moderating. And also we have moderating right now hold on one moment here. And also thank Kay Lowry Body is moderating. Raven Lynn is moderating. Thank you. Ronald Egnor is moderating. Thank you. All right. So it's coming up in 21 minutes. We'll see what he talks about. By the way, if Kamala Harris gives a news conference, I will definitely cover it. So that's, I'm not just covering his news conferences. If she gives one, if she gives 5 of them, I will cover all 5 of them. So you can see here, Trump will hold what's being billed as a news conference at his, this is from Associated Press, by the way. Trump will hold what's being billed as a news conference at his Los Angeles area golf club in the morning before heading to Northern California for a fundraiser, followed by a rally in Las Vegas, the largest state in swing state Nevada. Meanwhile, Harris, heads to Johnstown in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania today, as she tries to capitalize on her momentum after Tuesday night's debate. It's her second day of back-to-back rallies after holding 2 events in North Carolina, another swing state, on Thursday. Okay. Let me take some comments from you guys as we wait for this to start. Hold on a second here. Yes, this is at the Trump National Golf Course in Trump National Golf Course in Trump National Golf Course, Los Angeles, in Rancho Palos Verdes, Florida. That is where he is giving this. Okay, if you have any thoughts, on what he might talk about, give me a shout at Lookner. How close do I think the election will be? I don't know. The polling is very close. The polling is very close. Let me show you something else here. Oh, Walrus thinks that Trump is going to talk about the debate. Maybe he will talk about the debate. Contrafact says new tax break announcements. Rancho Palos Verdes is in Los Angeles County, I believe. I should show you where this is. I'm going to show you where it is. Hold on a second here. By the way, he might talk about whether he's going to debate again. So he announced yesterday, this is from the Washington Post, Trump says he won't debate Harris again before election. I should show you that as well. Show you both those things. But let me show you where his golf course is. Let me just do that. Let's do that as we wait for this to start. All right, here it is. I have it on a map for you. I have it on a map. If I can find it here. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Sorry. I'm pulling up the map of his golf course. Trump National Golf Course, Los Angeles. Here it is on Google Maps. So, oops, I'm zooming in. So like there is downtown. So it's actually, I mean, it's south of Los Angeles. I believe this is Los Angeles County though. So it's near, like, it's like south of Hermosa Beach. Rancho Palos Verdes is in Los Angeles County, but it's near like Manhattan Beach and like Hermosa Beach and Long Beach, near Long Beach. There it is right there, right on the coast. Okay? So that's where he's actually giving it next to the, I believe the press conference is going to be on the news conference is going to be on the water. Captain Country says it's a nice area. Thank you, Abscondage, for your support, and also PZ Papa Zulu. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hello to Maple Politics Stan, who is watching over on X. Guys, there is no update on Kentucky. If there's a big update on Kentucky, I will on the manhunt. I will go on the air and cover it. There is no major update on that. Here, look. Here's what Trump said yesterday. This is where he said he was not going to, there's not going to be a second debate with Harris, although I would assume he could just change his mind. He said, when a prize fighter loses a fight, the first words out of his mouth are, "I want a rematch." Polls clearly show I won the debate against Comrade Kamala Harris. By the way, there are numerous polls where people say that she won the debate, but maybe he's talking about different polls. Polls clearly show that I won the debate against Comrade Kamala Harris, the Democrats' radical left candidate, on Tuesday night, and she immediately called for a second debate. That is true. That is true that she called for it right after. Her people called for it right after. She and Crooked Joe have destroyed our country, with millions of criminals and mentally deranged people pouring into the USA, totally unchecked and unvetted, and with inflation bankrupting our middle class. Everyone knows this and all of the other problems caused by Kamala and Joe. It was discussed in great detail during the first debate with Joe and the second debate with Comrade Harris. She was a no-show at the Fox debate, and she refused to do NBC and CBS. In capital letters, he says Kamala should focus on what she should have done during the last almost 4-year period. There will be no third debate. So he says there will be no third debate. Again, he could change his mind. So we'll have to see whether there is or not. I have no idea if there's going to be a third debate. I can't tell you. But that's what he posted yesterday at 3:08 p.m. on his Truth Social. Okay, this was start in 13 minutes. Oh, you know what I want to do? Hang on a second. I'm going to pull something up here if I can. That's not what I want. That's also not what I want. Now, why is this not working? Oh, I can't do it yet. I can't show that yet. I will. We'll get. So, let me just real quick. Hang on a moment. I gotta set something up for when we're covering this. I gotta put something on the screen. I'm just putting something on the screen. I gotta give a credit to Right Side Broadcasting because they're nice enough to let me use their footage. So. Let me just get that ready to put up on the screen. Yeah, you know, with these news conferences, who knows? There could be big news coming out of it. You just don't know in advance. You just don't know. Thank you to Art Garden Food Expressions. He thinks this is to strike back at Harris when she can't defend herself. That's what Art thinks. Thank you, Art, for your support. Art Garden Food Expressions. Danny A writes in and says He's going to talk about the same nonsense, says our viewer Dan Danny A, for the sole reason of bringing attention back onto himself. John Turpin says J.D. Vance did an interview with Sean Ryan. Maybe Trump will use some of what was said to reiterate his policies. Thank you also, Carmen Ruiz, for the gift memberships. I really appreciate that, Carmen. Thank you. Okay, 10 minutes until this is supposed to start. If it starts on time. At least it didn't start crazy early. We covered the last news conference of his. We covered. The last news conference of his that we covered, he started early. So I didn't even catch the beginning of it. But today it looks like he's starting on time. Or, well, not early. Julie thinks he's going to complain how they were mean to him in the debate. J.K. Senar says a VP debate will be grand. The VP debate, I believe, is October 1st. Isn't it, the VP debate? October 1st, right? He might talk about this, by the way. Hold on. Excuse me. Excuse me. The VP debate is October 1st. Thanks, General Wilson, for your comments. Yesterday, oops, I don't want that caption up there. That's Reuters. Trump says he will end all taxes on overtime if elected. This is from yesterday, from Reuters. U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump said on Thursday he will end all taxes on overtime pay as part of a wider tax cut package if he is elected. As part of our additional tax cuts, we will end all taxes on overtime, he said at remarks at a rally in Tucson, Arizona. Your overtime hours will be tax-free. Trump, who faces Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris in what polls show to be a tight race, has previously said he would seek legislation to end the taxation of tips to aid service workers. Harris has made a similar pledge. He is desperate and scrambling and saying whatever it takes to try to trick people into voting for him, a Harris campaign spokesperson said in response to Trump's proposal. At a campaign event this month with union workers, Harris accused Trump of blocking overtime from millions of workers during his presidency from 2017 to 2021. In 2019, the Trump administration issued a rule increasing the eligibility of overtime pay to 1.3 million additional U.S. workers, replacing a more generous proposal that had been introduced by President Obama. The Trump administration also raised the salary level for exemption from overtime pay to $35,568 a year, up from the long-standing $23,660 threshold. Workers' rights groups criticized the move, saying it covered far fewer workers than the scheme introduced under Obama. Obama had proposed raising the threshold to more than 47,000, which would have made nearly 5 million more workers eligible for overtime. That rule was later struck down in court. Overtime pay at these income levels overwhelmingly benefits blue-collar workers such as fast food workers, nurses, store assistants, and other low-income employees. This is an interesting topic. By the way, at the bottom it says of this article, not taxing overtime would result in less government revenue at a time when Trump's plan to permanently extend the tax cuts he passed as president would expand the U.S. deficit by $3.5 trillion through 2033, according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. It's unclear how much revenue the government receives on taxes on overtime pay. Trump's proposal would be a first for the federal government, says Reuters. Alabama this year became the first state to exclude overtime wages for hourly workers from state taxes as a temporary measure that won legislative support in part to help employers fill jobs in a tight labor market. The exemption in Alabama is for 18 months only. I'd like to read more about that whole topic. I need to study up that whole topic more. Taxes on overtime. Anyways, maybe he'll talk about this because he announced it yesterday. That's from Reuters. By the way, this is supposed to start in about 5 minutes. Okay? And is this about some crypto company? I don't believe so because I saw this. Hold on. Where is that? There's this from Associated Press. Trump plans to launch his son's crypto business on Monday, 50 days before Election Day. Former President Trump plans to deliver remarks next Monday about cryptocurrency and launch the company World Liberty Financial, a crypto platform controlled by his sons Donald Jr. and Eric. So that, I guess, would be next week. Hey, thanks to our new member, Sabby. Thanks also to Red Squirrel 82. Thanks also to all of our moderators who are here. I really appreciate it. RJ is here. Linda Belk and Larry on X. We have... hang on a moment. Hang on a moment here. Big Ball of Yarn, Papa Bear, I got that fire on Twitch and on Facebook. We have Raven Lynn and Kay Lowry Body here. And Ronald Egnor moderating. Thank you. So we're waiting for this to start. As soon as I have footage, I will go to it. Well, as soon as it starts, I will go to it. By the way, thanks to Jimbo Slice 1UP for your support on Twitch. Thank you, Jimbo Slice. So we are covering this today thanks to Right Side Broadcasting, who have been nice enough to allow me to use their footage. So I want to give a shout out to them and say thank you. All right, any other predictions for the news conference? I don't know what he'll talk about. It's being billed as a news conference, so presumably he will take questions. Presumably. That's why we're covering it. We'll have to see what happens, though. This is at the Trump National Golf Course, Los Angeles, in Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Medium Sean thinks he will not take questions. Well, we covered the last one we covered, which was supposed to be a news conference. He didn't take questions. Before that, we covered one, and he did take questions. Dan Cruz 2 says he'll probably talk about the same stuff he's been talking about. Maybe it's about the ABC whistleblower. I haven't heard about this. I'm seeing an article in Daily Beast saying ABC slams Trump's latest conspiracy theory about debate loss, but I can't. It's paywalled. Trump has been claiming the fix was in. I'm not even familiar with this accusation. What is the accusation about an ABC whistleblower? That somehow the debate was fixed? Is that the idea? I mean, I'll say this about the debate. I watched the debate. I feel like the questions in the debate, generally speaking, the questions in the debate, you could have predicted the questions. I mean, they were about topics that I think both candidates could have predicted. One of our viewers, Worms, says, whistleblower says Kamala had questions in advance and they wouldn't fact check her. So what is it? There's some whistleblower supposedly that is saying this? Anyways, again, regarding the part about the questions in the debate, I mean, again, it just felt like it was stuff that you could have guessed they would have asked. But I haven't seen it. Look, I'm not familiar with this claim. And I'm not personally familiar with what Trump has said about it. So I don't want to put words in Trump's mouth. Jay Hitchcock says they are saying she had the questions in advance but haven't offered any proof. CK Will thinks she wasn't fact-checked. Quizology says no need to fact-check if telling the truth. We have some disagreement in our chat. All right. Maybe he'll talk about the debate more. Kai says there were no surprising questions, only surprising answers. Cassandra Portugal says maybe he'll give an updated info about the assassination attempt. He has not started yet. As soon as it starts, we'll go to it. Thanks, by the way, to Marianne Watkins, our new member. I appreciate that, Marianne. Thank you. All right, hang on a moment here. Give me 1 second here. We're waiting for this to start. Hang on. Oopsie. That's not good. It has not started yet. Is it noon yet? It's noon. Okay. Soon. Trump gives news conference. How about awaiting Trump news conference in California? How's that? Awaiting Trump news conference in California. I got to keep my eye on it. As soon as it starts, I'll go to it. Again, shout out to Right Side Broadcasting for letting me use their footage today. Walter Beasley says it does not matter. He is doing them and she is not. Press conference. Hey, as I said, if she does them, I'll cover them. Thanks, Walter. I appreciate it. All right. I keep looking over to see if it started yet. I keep looking over at it. There's really nothing to show you right now. I can maybe get the shot up in a second. Maybe I'll do that. Hang on one second. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Let's see. Maybe I'll throw something up on the screen. All right, hang on. I got to do this. Hang on a second here. Okay, so let's see if I can make this work. See if I can make this work. All right, so this is a live shot there. Again, video courtesy of Right Side Broadcasting. That is a live shot there. And he's going to be giving the press conference at his golf club on the water. Oops, I got to do something real quick here. One sec. Okay, now. What is it going to be about? I don't know. We'll have to see. Where in LA is it? It's right. It's basically south. It's in Los Angeles County. It's south of LA City. It's right next to Long Beach. It's on the coast next to Long Beach, and near Manhattan Beach, and Hermosa Beach. Trump news conference coming up. Who knows what he will say? Who knows? He's supposed to take questions. Will he take questions? This is in Rancho Palos Verdes. Oh, hold on. I got to fix this. Hold on. I got that. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. Nope. Okay. Hold on a second. See, that's why I have to make sure. Right Side, we're getting our video from Right Side Broadcasting, and they're kind of cutting back and forth. So when they cut back, they're not going to be cutting back and forth during it. They're just, before it starts, they're cutting back and forth. So when they go back to it, I'll show you the video again. But they're not going to cut back and forth actually during the actual news conference. But again, I really appreciate me letting them use their footage. Logan says, I've never seen him not take questions. Well, then I guess you missed our coverage a week or two ago of the news conference in New York City at Trump Tower where he did not take questions. But normally he does. I mean, all right, hold on. I think we're back there. There, we're back. We're back there. We'll see what he has to say. We'll see what he has to say. You never know. Thank you so much. Hey, Janet Burnett, that's so generous of you. Janet Burnett. Hey, Janet, I really appreciate all your support. Big shout out to Janet Burnett. Thank you, Janet. So nice of you. Also, thanks to Bebop and Rocksteady. So nice of you. Thanks for all your support during the debate, too. Bebop and Rocksteady. He says they're heating the chats instead of they're eating the cats. He's talking, Bebop and Rocksteady is talking about the, by the way, I don't even know if it's a, oh my gosh, hold on. Why is it happening in my ear? I have to fix my, I'm trying out these new earbuds. I don't know if you guys heard that. I'm trying out these new earbuds, and my phone just rang. I don't think you guys could hear it, but I could hear it, and I was like, "What's happening?" Normally, they're not. I just got them, and I guess I set them up incorrectly. I mean, they're working, but they shouldn't be ringing in my ears when the phone rings. That was weird. All right, hold on a second. Hold on. Come back to me for a second. Yeah. I'm trying them out. I'm not sure about them. They got longer battery life than my other ones. Also, the other ones are these like AirPod things with the arms that stick out. So I'm just trying a different one. I don't know if I'm keeping them yet, though. I'm trying them to see if I like them. So we'll see. I'll let you know. Maybe at the end of the broadcast, we'll talk more about the earbuds. But that's not for right now. Let me just make sure these are still working. Well, it doesn't matter. I can hear anyway. I'll have to look into that whole thing. Okay. Yeah, that was weird. It like I don't know. I gotta fix that whole thing. I don't know what it just did. Do you people think these? While I have a second, anytime. Hold on. Let me go back to this. No, that's not it. Do people? So one of the I really quick. I'll talk about this later, but let me know if you think these look better than the other ones. The other ones have the little arms that stick out, and I'm not like talking through them during the broadcast, so I don't need ones with arms that stick out. So these don't have the little arms that stick out. But the other ones they have nice sound and they work. So the most important thing is that they just work. Some people are saying that they think that these look better than the other ones. All right, no one has said they look worse, and people are saying they look better. One person said the other ones are better. Somebody else said they look weird. I would say that it's like 3-1-4, and people think black looks better than white. They are a bit distracting. I mean, you need to go back and look at the other ones. What we'll do at the end of the broadcast, for those who want to bother, at the end of the broadcast, I'll show you both of them and you can look. Because the other ones are, it's not like this versus nothing. There are broadcasts where I have to wear earbuds. All right, so people disagree in the chat. I thought normally our chat is they don't like change. So I thought everybody in the chat was going to say they hated them. Somebody said it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think maybe the bottom line is it doesn't matter that much. Anyways, but another thing about these real quick as we're waiting for this news conference to start is these have a longer battery life than the other ones. Because the other ones, it's kind of annoying. I mean, you might think it's not a big deal. But the other ones, if I'm doing a long stream, I actually have to switch them. I have to have a backup pair. And I thought it'd be nice to try one that lasts longer so I could maybe just go a whole broadcast, even if it's a longer broadcast, without having to switch them. But we'll have to see. I don't know. Again, we're waiting for this to start. It's supposed to start at any moment, but it has not started yet. I can tell you it has not started yet. Where are the ones that are best for you, says Mary McHugh too. Well, I mean, it does matter if people hate them. That's important to me. Hey, thanks Jeff Buddington, our member. And thanks for your support, Nofkez. Thank you. And our members Oliver Hernandez and Bullseye. Thank you. I need earbuds because the problem with if I'm not wearing earbuds and I want to listen to what's going on, like when we play video, you're going to hear two of it. When I'm playing something, if I'm listening through the speakers, you're going to get that through the microphone and you're going to get echo. So I need, whenever I'm basically playing video, or audio even, whenever I'm playing anything, I really need to have something, be listening to it through my ears so that you guys don't get echo. Anyways, I didn't mean to derail the broadcast. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on a moment. Hold on. I got to do this now. Give me a moment. I'm getting this set up for you. I'm getting it set up for you. Okay. Thanks for your patience, everyone. Oopsie. It's a little bit of a complex thing here. Okay, let me go back to, again, here is the video. We're waiting for it to start. It was supposed to start at noon. It is now 12:17. Any moment now, it is supposed to start. Sorry, I don't want to miss the start of it, so I keep looking over there to make sure we're not missing the start of it. What is it about? I have no idea. I do not know. Hey, thanks Sage Lake from Canada for your support. I really appreciate that, Sage Lake. Thank you. Thanks also to Tenfold 8 on Twitch and Jimbo Slice, 1UP, for your support. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. It was supposed to start at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. It is now 9:18 Pacific. Oh, thanks, Sage Lake. Hey, that's nice of you, Sage Lake. Thank you. John Turpin says, Americans want to know policies on issues that every tax-paying citizen is concerned about. 1 economy, 2 border, and 3 crime. Everything else is just noise. After it, we'll talk about what he said after. If there's some big development today in the manhunt in Kentucky, we will cover that as well. I am following it. Thank you to Jesse's Girl for the gift membership too. Thank you, Jesse's Girl. I'm really concerned that I'll start talking about something else and miss the start of this. No, they have not found the suspected shooter in Kentucky yet. This is the Trump National Golf Course it's called Trump National Golf Course in Los Angeles County, in Rancho Palos Verdes. Thanks to Flaps15 for your support. Thank you, Flaps15. So maybe he'll talk about the debate that happened on Tuesday. As we talked about yesterday, he said there's not going to be a third debate. By third, there's meaning a second Harris debate. But I don't know if that's true. We'll have to see what happens there. Jared says my local news says he's running 45 minutes late. How did they know that? How did they know that? I mean, that might be true, but I haven't seen that anywhere. That could back up his whole day. He's got a day of campaigning. Associated Press says that Trump will hold what's being billed as a news conference at his Los Angeles area golf club in the morning before heading to Northern California for a fundraiser, followed by a rally in Las Vegas, the largest city in swing state Nevada. So he has a rally tonight, Trump, and he's also going to be doing a fundraiser in Northern California. Hey, thanks to Phil. Oh, thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. So nice of you, Phil. Thank you. Phil from the UK. I mean, Right Side is anticipating it happening soon. Fox News is anticipating it happening soon. They have a little, they say it's going to be soon. Oh, oops. Oh my gosh, there's a typo. I did not know there was a typo. Sorry, people were saying Rancho in the chat, and I was like, why are people saying the word Rancho? It's because when I typed in the location, the O did not register. Oops. Yeah. So I've been saying Rancho. I just didn't. I had no idea what you were talking about. Why is it doing this? There we go. Sorry. Sorry for the typo. All right. Thanks. It's not Ranch Palos Verdes. It's Rancho Palos Verdes. I think it was up there for like 10 minutes. So, you know, I do that once in a while. I'm sorry. That's my fault. It's my fault. Oh, you know what? You know what? Harris is giving it. I don't know if I'll have footage of that. You know, if when Trump gives a rally, if Harris and Trump are giving rallies around the same time, then I sometimes do a stream where I cover both of them. But tonight, Harris is appearing at an event at like 6:20, and then Trump is doing his rally. But his rally is like 9:45 Eastern. It's such a, I can't really cover both because they'll be sitting for 3 hours in between them. You know, if they're close to each other, I can cover both of them. Lisa Kell says, I'm excited for this. I haven't heard any updates yet on start time. Oh no, I probably wouldn't cover either of them tonight. I mean, I don't cover rallies that much, but again, if I could cover both of them, that's one thing. But I don't love just covering like one rally. I mean, sometimes I do it, and we'll do it maybe more as we get closer to the election, especially if like one of them hasn't done something in a while. But at this point, there's so many campaign events, they're doing them a lot. But again, press conferences I'll cover. I mean, if they both give a press conference once a day, I'll cover it. But that's different from a rally. I appreciate you being here for the stream. It's weird though. I mean, this one is about 25 minutes late now, and then the last one we covered in Trump Tower was actually early. It started like 20 minutes early, the last one. So, what can I say? I can only go off the announced time. Hey, thank you so much to Sargento Succulento. Thank you, Sargento. That's so nice of you. Thanks for your comment as well. I appreciate that, Sargento. Oh, yeah, we'll be covering on election night. We'll certainly be covering that. We'll certainly have election night coverage. That reminded me of something. I still haven't gotten any updates about when this is any updated start time. So, and as you can see, the mic is there, press is there, the press is out there. Oh, hold on. Come back to me for a second. As soon as it has not started yet. It has not started yet. Hold on. Let me show you something now. Well, I can't show you that right now. I have my eyes on it. It has not started yet. Just so you know again, it has not started yet. We're waiting for it to start. It has not started yet. Why is he doing another press conference? He does things like this once in a while. He does these once in a while. But I can tell you it has not started yet. We're waiting for it to start. I got my eyes on the feed. I got my eyes on the feed. Aleppo thinks he does it to vent. No, he's not dropping out. That is not happening. If I do this, so I can let you see the, hold on a second here. Will that cover this? There you go. There's a live shot too. That is a live shot too. But you can see he's not there yet. I may have to make some like adjustments of the framing and stuff when he actually starts. So I'll worry about that when it starts. But the point is at least to get you the broadcast. So I'll make adjustments if need be when it starts. One moment here. One moment here. By the way, one of our viewers just said, "Who is Loomer?" Really quick, I'm going to post that up. Hold on, really quick. I'll show you a headline real quick. But hold on a second. Are they about to start? I see the cameras kind of panning. I see the cameras moving. I don't want to go away from this. Washington Post, Trump's time with Loomer, a far-right activist, upsets his GOP allies. The Washington Post says, former President Trump has traveled the country this week accompanied by far-right activist Laura Loomer, unnerving some GOP allies with his increasing embrace of a provocateur with a history of espousing conspiracy theories and incendiary rhetoric. In an interview yesterday, Lindsey Graham, Republican senator, said the history of statements by Miss Loomer are beyond disturbing. I hope this problem gets resolved. I think we should be talking about things that people are concerned about, and this issue, I think, doesn't help the cause. Loomer most notably joined Trump as he made multiple stops on Wednesday to mark the 23rd anniversary of the September 11th attacks. Tom Tillis, I saw this before. Tom Tillis, who is a Republican senator. I don't know if he'll talk about this at all today, Trump. Tom Tillis, a Republican senator from North Carolina, said today, about an hour ago, if I can find it here. You can see it says it on his X account here. At the bottom there, I'll read it to you. He said, Laura Loomer is a crazy conspiracy theorist, said Tom Tillis, who regularly utters disgusting garbage intended to divide Republicans. A DNC plant couldn't do a better job than she is doing to hurt President Trump's chances of winning re-election. Enough. That is what Tom Tillis said on his X account, as I just showed you. Anyway, so I don't know if he is going to, if Trump will talk about this at all. I will cover the Kentucky manhunt again when there are big developments in the Kentucky manhunt. That's when I will cover it again. I am keeping an eye on it. Oh, hold on. So right side is now showing the motorcade. So Trump's motorcade is driving. Okay, is that live or that's like a clip? What are they saying? What are they saying over there? Hold on. Oh, it looked like that was a clip. That wasn't a live shot. That was not a live shot because they're replaying it. So I don't know what the deal is. That was not a live shot. That was something that they replayed. But maybe he's still driving there. Oops, sorry. So hang on a second. Let me fix this. Is the yacht Secret Service? I have no idea what boat that is back there. Oh, somebody's adjusting the microphone or going up there. There is a person, like a security person, it looks like, or a worker or something. Thank you to AM Coffee, our member. Thank you so much, Bebop and Rocksteady. Thank you, Bebop and Rocksteady. He says he thinks that Trump is on chill California vibe time. Well, it was supposed to start at 9 Pacific time, and it's now 9:38 Pacific time. The last time we covered the Trump news conference, it started 20 minutes early. So all I can do is cover it when it's supposed to start. Yes, that guy, as one of our viewers, Tommy Guy, said, that man you're seeing periodically has been standing there. He just has not been in this camera shot, but he has been standing there. Guys, I don't. People are posting about Pasco County in the chat. Literally 1 hour ago, 52 minutes ago. Sorry, 58 minutes ago. So basically, an hour ago, the Pasco sheriff an hour ago said that police were investigating. Police were at a middle school investigating reports of a possible weapon on campus. The school is on controlled campus status while the investigation is ongoing. That was posted an hour ago by the Pasco sheriff. So I have a hard time believing that there's some big active thing going on there when the Pasco, meaning like a shooting, when the Pasco sheriff literally posted an hour ago that they were that the police were at the school and the school was on controlled campus status. So hopefully everything is fine there. I'll let you know if I have updates, but just to make clear, that was posted an hour ago. All right, so give me a second here. I'll go back. It has not started yet. This has not started yet. It is 12:41. It's 12:41. It was 9:41 Pacific time. It was supposed to start 41 minutes ago. We are bringing you live coverage. Thanks to our new member, JB. Thanks, JB. I feel bad when we come on and you guys have to wait. But again, I don't know these things in advance, so I apologize, but I assume it's starting soon. What is the topic? I don't know what he's going to talk about or what people are going to ask about. I have not read any updates about where he is or the thing being delayed. Like a half hour ago, like a half hour ago, Fox had it in a little box in the corner. So they thought it was going to start soon. Do you think he will talk about claims pets are being eaten in Springfield, Ohio? I do not know. I don't believe there is any reliable evidence of such claims. You can see Associated Press in this article right here from 2 days ago says There is no evidence that Haitian immigrants in an Ohio community are abducting and eating pets. Uh-oh, people are standing up. Is this going to start now? Is this starting? I see people standing, but maybe not. No, I don't think it's starting yet. I don't see him anywhere. Yeah, Fox News has it in a little box in the corner now, too. Oh, what happened to the, sorry, this is supposed to be up there. Oops, sorry, that was supposed to be there. Hold on a second. One moment. No, I'm not. Biden is talking at the White House. Biden is delivering remarks in celebration of Black experience. No, I'm not covering that. I'm covering this because it's a news conference. So I'm not going away from this. If Biden gives a news conference, I'll cover it. If Harris gives a news conference, I'll cover it. This has not started yet. As soon as I have the footage back, I'll go to it. But it has not started yet. Still just the microphone. It is now 12:46 Eastern, 9:46 Pacific time. It was supposed to start at 9 Pacific time. Curtis Cardwell says, get this show on the road. Tim Apple says, if he doesn't take questions again, will you continue to cover these? Well, if there are multiple ones where he doesn't take questions, that could certainly make me less likely to cover them, because then they're not really news conferences. But the one before this that we covered, he took plenty of questions. Well, he took several questions at least. So I think he's going to take questions. But if he doesn't, I'll have to reconsider. I am in Eastern time zone. The guy who's like the security guy, it looks like, he's been there for like an hour just standing there. Thank you, Mermaid Fishing Co. I think it's about his connection to the RT brief. What do you mean the RT brief? That whole RT thing that came out like last week? Mermaid Fishing Co. Or am I misinterpreting you? Thank you again, Mermaid Fishing Co. Crystal thinks he's going to mention the appearance where Joe Biden put on his hat, the Trump hat. Oops, sorry. Hold on a second. Let me put this back up here. Still waiting for it to start. We are still waiting for it to start. It is now 12:49. It is 12:49. 9:49. 9:49 Eastern time. Western Pacific time, I'm sorry. 9:49 Pacific time. Oops, sorry. They're going back here. Right side showed a clip like 20 minutes ago, 15 or 20 minutes ago. It was just like a few seconds of his motorcade. And that was not a live shot because they were replaying it. So, but I can assure you it has not started yet. I haven't heard about about her giving a press conference. One of our viewers claims Kamala Harris is giving a press conference today. I've seen nothing about it. I've seen literally nothing about it at all. I'll definitely cover it if she gives one. Mike Rivers thinks it's going to be another airing of grievances. Kate Hike says she doesn't do press conferences. I thought maybe start of the day. It'll be like close to on time because he won't want to get behind on the day. No, see, right side is just showing right now. It's the exact same clip. It's like a very short clip of his motorcade, and they already showed this one. They showed this clip like 20 minutes ago. That's not a new clip. Diane Cameron says he's trying to build suspense. Right, let me just put this back on. You can see it has not started yet. Boz thinks he is being presidential. One of our viewers, Music King, says, "Why is he so late? Absurd." I mean, I assume he was flying today from the... did he stay there last night? I don't know if he was in California last night or if he flew across the country today. Somebody else is... I can see it... So I'm looking at a different view, a camera which I can't show you, and there's now 3 people behind the microphone. So maybe he just got there because there was one like security guy looking guy standing there, and now there's 2 guys who came over who look like 2 more security guys, and they just shook the first guy's hand. So I'm wondering if that's like Trump security who came, hang on a moment here, who came from the, who just came with him. So there's now 3 security guys back there. You can't see them, but they're to the left. So we have movement happening. We have more security there. That we do have. Hold on. The three security guys are all just like talking to each other right now. They're all like having a chill conversation. I kind of feel like the two guys who just came over maybe were with Trump and they just got there. Yeah, I might have to adjust the camera framing or the angle framing when it starts. But again, I appreciate Right Side Broadcasting for letting me use their footage. Oh, the New York Times had an article, said Jake's online. Hold on a second. The New York Times posted 23 minutes ago that Trump is scheduled to address the news media, but he is running behind schedule. They also said it's billed as a news conference, but Trump does not always take questions from reporters. Oh, Trump was in California overnight. He was in California overnight. So he was already there. Just so you know. Doritos says Trump holds press conferences because it's free attention. You guys keep falling for it. Hey, if Harris, there's one of the security guys. If Harris wants to hold one, I'll cover that too. Oh, hold on. It looks like we see movement. Looks like there's some movement. There's somebody at the podium. All right, hold on. Hang on a moment. We're waiting for it to start still. There is movement. Somebody's at the podium. But it has not started yet. Oh, Jake sent me an LA Times article saying Rancho Palos Verdes is known for landslides. It's also home to a Trump's golf course. I'm not aware of any kind of landslide that's been going on today. But thank you to Jake for the article. If you want to read that, go to the LA Times. Yeah, we showed this before. Oops, that's right side. This is his golf course there's Los Angeles, and his golf course, Trump National Golf Club Los Angeles, is in Los Angeles County, and it's next to Long Beach and also Redondo Beach, and south of Torrance, and it's right on the water there. All right, hang on a moment. He is not there yet. It's supposed to start very soon. Very soon. Really, I mean, we've seen a lot of movement. We have more security there. Thank you again to Right Side Broadcasting for letting us use their footage. Focus issue. Refocus. Refocus. There you go. It's supposed to start at any moment. It was supposed to start an hour ago. but it still hasn't started. Thank you again to all of our moderators. I really appreciate it. Thanks, moderators. Ruth Krafasi and RJ, Linda Belk and Larry. That guy isn't, there's a guy. A Moment of Lovely, Big Ball of Yarn, Surly Dev, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, Raven Riley, and, or Raven Lynn, sorry, Ronald Egnor, thank you. Thanks also for your support on Twitch. SkullMN320, who thinks no tax on overtime and the trickle down from that could very possibly win him the election. That is what SkullMN320 says. Yesterday, Trump said he wanted to not have, I have to read that again. I believe it. He said, Trump says he will end all taxes on overtime if elected. That's a headline in Reuters today. I don't know if he can do that, by the way, because I would think maybe Congress has to do it. Maybe he means if Congress goes along with him. Thanks to TechSlug for your support as well. Thanks also Sonia Fossil 69 over on Twitch for your support. Thank you. Also Budgie Bird and Big Ball of Yarn and Annie Kush. Thank you. And A Moment of Lovely. Thanks for your support on Twitch. Reuters says, Trump said yesterday he will end all taxes on overtime pay as part of a wider tax cut package if he is elected. Trump has previously said he would seek legislation to end the taxation of tips to aid service workers. Harris has made a similar pledge. Cycle Rider Zone 09 thinks it'll never happen. The government will take a huge hit. Our viewer and Anna RA2 is near there in Torrance, right nearby. When it actually starts, they'll actually frame him in the center. It's not going to be. It will not be framed like this. It won't be framed like this when it actually starts. All right. It is officially more than an hour late. It was supposed to start at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It is now 1:03 Eastern, 10:03 Pacific. So it is now officially over an hour late. Ugh. I do not know what he's talking about. Janice said Fox said 20 minutes before he speaks. I didn't hear them say that. Maybe they did. Hey, thanks to Haunted Wind for subscribing on and SkullMN320 for subscribing on Twitch. United Airlines said that free high-speed Wi-Fi is coming to United via Starlink. They said, we expect to have Starlink on all 1,000+ United planes over the next several years. Just throwing that in. something I just saw. They said you'll be able to stream. Well, we'll see about that. I don't know if they mean, I don't think they mean live stream, but like maybe like watch videos and stuff. CRT sent me a report from The Hill that said Kamala Harris is expected to do more media in coming days. I don't know if she's going to do any news conferences. We'll see. She is expected to do a sit-down interview with the National Association of Black Journalists next week, the campaign said. That is from The Hill. Thank you to CRT. Guys, we're still waiting. I don't have to tell you that we're still waiting. You can see we're still waiting. I'm sorry it's so late. I did not know it was going to start over an hour and 6 minutes late. This is pretty late. Humane Approach thinks he is coming now. Is that true? He's not there yet. I'm just going to remind you, we covered a Trump news conference, which he actually didn't take questions at. But the last one of these was like a week or two ago. And it literally started like around 20 minutes early. Like, I didn't even get on soon enough. I got on after it started because it started early, the last one. That was the one at Trump Tower. So I was concerned this was going to start early. Hey, thanks so much to Brambo09 for your support. Thank you, Brambo. The article in the LA Times that Jake sent me said that in Rancho Palos Verdes, which is the town where this is happening in, they are currently under a state of emergency issued by the governor this month because of extreme land movement triggered by back-to-back rainy winters. This is the Trump National Golf Course, Los Angeles, in Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Thank you to Jesse's Girl, our new member, or for the gift membership. Thank you, Jesse's Girl. The antique action figure, our viewer says, I will wait forever. Hold on. Kate Hikes thinks something is up because he's over an hour late. It's now an hour and 9 minutes. Arbo thinks it will be worth the wait. Don't the rallies start late? Sometimes they do, but sometimes like they have again, both he and Biden sometimes start events late. This is pretty late though. Anara says rush hour traffic. I don't know. I don't have an explanation. I have not gotten any kind of explanation. Daz Logan says probably having a round of golf first. Maybe he's saying hi to people at the club, at the Trump National Golf Club, Los Angeles. Eric Van S thinks in LA traffic is always a factor, but he's usually late too. Lewis said Fox News says another 20 minutes. Hold on. I just saw Fox said we're a couple minutes away from Donald Trump. I literally just saw that on Fox. They said we're told we're a couple minutes away from Donald Trump. I'm going to replay it, but I have it on in the background here. Let me see this. The anchor said, hold on. He said, we are told just a couple minutes away from Donald Trump. That's what the anchor on Fox just said. Okay? I have that update for you. Bill C. thinks a couple of minutes is 10 to 50 minutes. It is now 10:12 p.m. Pacific time. It was supposed to start at 9. Pulani says perhaps with Melania. I have no reporting that claims that Melania will be there. Derek Ham says, y'all whining, but still sitting here waiting. Anna Melody says, I'll be surprised if he's on stage before 1:30. No, there's no plane today because he was in Los Angeles area last night. Again, I apologize. I did not know. Update on from Pasco Sheriff. After a thorough search of the middle school in Pasco County, deputies determined there was no weapon on the presence on the premises and no immediate threats to the school. Gulf Middle School has resumed normal operations. For those who were wondering about the school in Pasco County. Thank you to Sweetums for the gift membership. Hey, we have a new boat. There's a new boat. Look, a new boat. appears. Hey, thank you, Sweetums, for the support. Our viewers think it's the Coast Guard. Is that a Coast Guard vote? Is that a Coast Guard vote, folks? A number of our viewers say that is a Coast Guard boat. I would not be surprised. That makes sense. I should check marine traffic. Maybe I'll pull up marine traffic here so I can look at it. Oops, sorry. I have something. We are getting the. I do really appreciate Right Side for letting us use their video. Big shout out to them. Right Side Broadcasting. I just pulled up marinetraffic.com here. I'm going to give it a look. I don't see it on there, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't come. I don't know if it comes. I don't know if that ship comes up on the on marine traffic. I'm not seeing it though. And well, I might be looking at the wrong place. It's possible I'm not looking at the right place, but I think I'm looking at the right place. You know, it's also possible on marine traffic that I'm not on like the super duper satellite plan on marine traffic. So maybe it's something that if I had like the super duper professional satellite plan, it would come up right away. I don't know. Go Niners says the Coast Guard would not let other boats get very close. Anyways, I looked, I checked. Oh, hold on a moment. Again, we're waiting for this to start. It has not started yet. I have my eyes on it. We'll get you the footage in a second. Fox News says Trump is speaking soon. That's the headline right now on Fox News. Soon. Trump to speak in California. Breaking news on Fox News. So they're saying he's speaking soon, guys. Is Laura Loomer there? I do not know. CBS News' Weijia Zhang reports that President Biden said today, she said, President Biden's message to Trump, who continues to repeat false claims that Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio are eating pets. Biden said, it's simply wrong. It has no place in America. This has to stop. What he's doing, it has to stop. Maybe Trump will discuss that whole topic today when this actually starts. Hey, thank you, Nick D. from Canada. Nick says Trump didn't give a start time. He just gave concepts of a start time. Let me put it back up on the screen for you guys. It is 1:19. All right, this is pretty late because it is now an hour and 19 minutes late. An hour and 19 minutes late. Johnny Rockberry says, I'm getting hungry and my cat is getting nervous. I didn't even realize you were making a joke about that. I thought you were just talking about waiting for the press conference. The Chaparral Fox says Trump gets plenty of free press by saying it, so he will continue. Cosenza says Newsmax says 1:30. Does anyone know? Literally, there's a giant headline on Fox right now, Fox News, that says, breaking news, Trump to speak in California. And they have basically full screen. Trump has been delayed till 1:30 Eastern time, guys. Reuters now says that Trump is speaking in 10 minutes at 1:30 Eastern time. Reuters just posted that. Okay? Just so you know. So again, Reuters says that he is speaking at 1:30 Eastern, which is in 10 minutes from now. That'll be 90 minutes late. Harper Ann thinks he must have something big planned. Now, who knows? He could start before then. I don't know. But Reuters just updated it and said delayed to 1:30 Eastern. Sandy C says, hope he is okay. Is there any indication what the news conference is about? No. He does these once in a while. He does these news conference things once in a while where he just calls a news conference. So I have no information on any kind of huge announcements or anything. But who knows? Who knows what he'll say? Who knows what he'll say? Coherent Scream says probably was 1:30 all along. Well, the last one of these he did a week or two ago. It literally started around 20 minutes early. I'm not kidding you. Hey, it's 1:22. We'll talk about earbuds, the earbuds I'm trying out later, after. Anna Melodies thinks it'll be at 1:45. Well, again, Reuters updated it to 1:30. They just updated it to 1:30. Think and Repent says California traffic. Saskia says, can everybody be there, or is this news conference or is it for special people? I don't know who is in attendance there. This is on his property, Trump National Golf Course, Los Angeles. Believe me, if I knew it was going to be 90 minutes late, I wouldn't have come on the air when I did. We didn't even come on the air that early. I mean, normally I come on the air even earlier. I think I got on the air about a half an hour before the start time. Because normally I like to do a little pre-show and read your guys' comments and stuff. I'm glad I didn't get on the air earlier. Harper Ann says, I finished cleaning my apartment. I see it panning over. It's panning over. The camera is panning over. There are some security people on the camera. There he is. He's there. He's there. Breaking news. He is there. I got to get the audio on. Here he is. Here he is. All right, I will fix the audio in the picture. Why can't I hear it?
I'd like to introduce the mayor of Rancho Palos Verdes, who's been a very popular mayor. He's done a fantastic job. And he's really something very special. John Crookshank. And he'll say a few words about about 2 miles up the road, they're having some problems with slides into a thing called the Pacific Ocean. And a lot of people would like to hear about it and what the mayor's doing to get it remedied, and he'll take care of it. So, John, please.
Well, I was only expecting to come speak with the president today, and he's gracious enough to invite me to speak to you all, which is an important moment for the city of Rancho Palos Verdes. In 2002, the Trump Golf Course opened up here, and they've been a great business here in our community. As the president mentioned, our city has been having a lot of issues with a landslide that's less than a mile from here. We have about 600 homes, several thousand residents that have been affected. They've lost power, gas, and it's been moving at an unprecedented rate for the last couple of years because of the rain. We believe we can solve the problem, but we really need the assistance of the state of California and the federal government. We have solutions out there for that, but the problem is bigger than the city of Rancho Palos Verdes, and so it's important that we get the attention and the help of the people of California and of the federal government. So I'm here to thank the president of having me here today. Obviously, I'm a tiny bit nervous. This is a very big deal. Oh, thank you. So anyhow, we very much appreciate you all being here, and of course, I know you're here for the president, but covering what's going on in our city is really important, and it's meant a lot to our community of 42,000 people, so thank you so much.
He's not talking into the mic, so we... Oh, hold on, here we go.
So far, they're missing in action. Okay? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. This is Trump National Los Angeles, and it's been a tremendous success for a long time. I guess Lily would be 18 or 19 years, I think, right? And I built it. And I have a little bit of a motto, but we never have to advertise because it's always loaded up with golfers, very good golfers. It's a world championship course. It fronts on the Pacific Ocean, as you can see. It actually fronts, very few courses front on the Pacific Ocean. There's Pebble Beach and there's some others, but I always say I have the ocean, Pebble Beach has the bay. The ocean's better than the bay. And this course is one of the best courses anywhere in the world, and it's done really well, and we've had a lot of fun with it, so it's been great. It's a major property, as you can imagine. We do also lots of weddings and lots of events, and in the ballroom right behind you. And people get married literally on a nightly basis looking over the Pacific Ocean. So we have something that's very special. We're proud of it. Well, thank you all for being here. Before we begin, I want to express my support for all of the families affected by the landslides in Rancho Palos Verdes. The slides are something can be taken care of. This area is very solid. But you go down a couple of miles down, you'll see something that's pretty amazing. The mountain is moving, and it can be stopped, but they need some help from the government, so I hope they get the help, and I'm sure John will have the help. And I want to thank the mayor for the great job he's doing. I tell that to the people, what a great job he's doing. I just met with the mayor and especially want to salute all of the public safety and emergency personnel who are working down the road, as well as the utility workers who are fighting to restore service to local residents. It's another thing when you live along the coast. Sometimes that happens. It's a little bit more difficult, but when they fix it, there's nothing like it. There really is nothing like it. I'm here today in California with a very simple message for the American people. We cannot allow Comrade Kamala Harris and the communist left to do to America what they did to California. The state of California is a mess with people leaving, and nothing's going to stop them. They're going to other states. Some are going to other countries. But what they've done, Gavin Newsom and Kamala, I'd almost say Kamala more so, she destroyed San Francisco and she destroyed the state. When you look at the kind of destruction that's taken place, it's all man-made or woman-made destruction too. It's things that should have never happened, but we're not going to let that happen with 4 more years of her in the White House, because if you have what happened to this country as what they allowed to happen in California and San Francisco, one of the great cities of the world 15 years ago, and today it's not in a very good position, to put it mildly, and the state, which is probably the best piece of real estate in the world, the state, you have the sunshine, you have the ocean, you have everything, you have the perfect weather, the best weather, and they've hurt it so badly, so badly. Decades ago, San Francisco was known as one of the most beautiful cities anywhere in the world. A friend of mine, a friend of a lot of the people here, Bob Tisch, used to say San Francisco is the best city in the United States, the best city there is. And he passed away a number of years ago, but he wouldn't believe it. He used to always talk about San Francisco as our greatest city. He owned Lowe's, good company, great company. And he would say it constantly, and now you see what's happened. And it can be brought back, just like our country can be brought back, because we're a nation in decline. The decline of this whole state is one of the sad chapters in what's gone on with the radical left lunatics that we have to put up with. As the San Francisco district attorney, Kamala was the godmother of sanctuary cities. She was right out there at the forefront. And also the movement of defunding the police. She was there right at the beginning. She boasted, quote, "We are a sanctuary city and we always will be." Well, they're sanctuary cities of crime. One of the people that Kamala gave sanctuary city to and put in as DA was Edwin Ramos, an illegal alien MS-13 gang member who savagely murdered a father and his 2 sons after mistaking them for members of a rival gang. She knew this, and she came to his defense. He had previously been arrested for robbing a pregnant woman and killing many, they say. Kamala refused to get him out of our country, and he went on to do very significant damage. She also gave sanctuary to illegal alien Ronnie Aguilera, who murdered a 14-year-old boy, nearly decapitating him with a sword. He enjoyed watching this take place with a sword by his hand. Kamala launched her tenure as DA with a San Francisco police group described as a, quote, fire sale for plea deals. They made plea deals. The only one they don't make a plea deal with is Trump. They go after their political opponent, especially when they haven't done anything wrong. You saw more charges were dropped yesterday in Atlanta, Georgia. It's all politically inspired. It's all against their political opponent. We won the case in the big case. They said the big case. I've completely won that case. The documents case in Florida. Case was thrown out with deranged Jack Smith, deranged prosecutor, that if he devoted his efforts to violent crime and to the border, which they should have, would be in a lot better position as a country. In one sweetheart deal, Kamala gave only 12 years to a monster known as David Taylor, who got high on crack and murdered a 65-year-old mother with a hammer and a pair of scissors. He wanted to come out, and she wanted to get him out as quickly as possible. In another plea deal, she gave only 6 years to a man who killed a disabled veteran with a knife and then left his body to rot in a bathtub. Kamala refused to seek the death penalty for a gang member who murdered San Francisco police officer Isaac Espinoza during a traffic stop, very innocent traffic stop. She didn't have the decency to call his family, never did, to explain her decision. Why would you do this? Why would you give such leniency to somebody that just killed the police officer? But her son, This was a major reason why the San Francisco Police Officers Association has refused to endorse her in every single race since she became district attorney. The police don't endorse her. She's got virtually no endorsements now, but I have almost every police group in the United States. We just got the endorsement of almost 400,000 police. You saw that the other day. The Fraternal Order. And it's the largest police group in the country. But we have the endorsement of every sheriff, just about every single police group in the United States. And unadulterated, they are so happy to endorse. After Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom took charge of San Francisco, homelessness increased by over 200%. While Comrade Kamala Harris was Attorney General of this state, murders rose significantly. Car thefts went through the roof. Gun assaults rose at levels never seen before. And forcible rape went up by much more than the 73% that they reported. As Attorney General, she defined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as nonviolent crimes. She put them in a new category as nonviolent. Now, as Vice President, she's facilitated the largest wave of sex trafficking and human trafficking in history, the history of our country by far. And in case you don't want to write about it, but you should, because there can be no bigger scandal than this, we have, under this administration, 325,000 migrant children are missing. 325,000. In other words, take your biggest stadium in California and you could fill it up 5 or 6 times. Those are all missing children. Many of them are dead. Many of them are sex slaves and slaves of different nature. But her destruction of the law and order in California did not end there. In 2020, Kamala Harris proudly endorsed defund the police. We're going to defund the police. Anybody that was even in favor of defunding the police for 1 month, let alone her entire career, should never be president of the United States. She supported a plan to cut the LA Police Department by at least $150 million and ideally more. This is when your crime in LA was reaching very significant heights. Today, it's at the highest level it's ever been. Harris also endorsed the Marxist, Soros-backed prosecutor, George Gascon, to be district attorney of Los Angeles. And with Kamala's support, Gascon has unleashed hell upon the residents of Los Angeles, absolute hell. Kamala supported Gascon's decision to stop prosecuting criminals for trespassing, disturbing the peace, making criminal threats, loitering to commit prostitution, and resisting arrest. And these are some of the best areas in your state. They were left alone. They were protected by him, actually protected by him. They've been trying to get him out for a long time, but she helped. And this is where she's coming from as president. This is where she's coming from. This is why all of her policies changed. She was anti-fracking. She was anti-everything. And all of a sudden, she changed. Even the first question she was given at the debate gave one of the dumbest answers. They were asking about pricing and would you be better off today or 4 years ago? Prices have gone up at numbers that nobody's ever seen before. And just the concept of being better off, she didn't give the answer. She talked about when she grew up, nobody knew what the hell she was talking about. And based on the polls, it didn't work because Rasmussen, as you probably saw, just came out and they just lifted me up by 6 points for president, which is one of the biggest increases they've ever had in one little short period of time of a couple of days. Up 6 points. And I thought the debate was great. I thought I did very well, but I was fighting 3 people. I was fighting the crazy left radical lunatics at ABC, I think considered the worst broadcaster out there. George Slopadopoulos, that whole group, they're bad. And I lost a lot of respect for David Muir. He came at me with things, and We'll go over it in a second, but I was right about the crime stats going way up. The fact is the FBI didn't report them, and we're able to keep the stats essentially flat. But the new numbers came in. I guess somebody in government likes me because the new numbers were just released, and you'll see the kind of numbers that we're talking about went not only up, but up at record levels like nobody's seen before when everything was included. And thanks to Kamala, since 2020, crime and drug overdose deaths here have skyrocketed by 40, 50, and 60%, and murder has reached an all-time high. We don't want this for our country. That's why I'm doing this. I don't like doing this, other than I know you all have the nicest view you're going to ever have. But somebody's got to explain this one. This is a radical left, Marxist, communist, fascist. As border czar, she then launched a colossal invasion of California's southern border. Just yesterday, the Wall Street Journal reported that a Venezuelan gang is expanding its deadly reach in the United States. First sentence of the story begins, U.S. law enforcement officials have watched with alarm the spread of a Venezuelan gang known for dismembering people. Dismembering people, right? Dismembering people. From Chile to Colombia, they're all over the place. Now they're in our country. They're known as MS-13. They're considered the meanest, toughest gang in the world. In Long Island, not so long ago, two young 16-year-old girls were walking to school, and they carved them up with a knife. They killed both of them. They carved them up with a knife. They didn't want to shoot them. And we got them out. I got them out so fast, and we did a big number. And I wanted to thank ICE while I'm at it, because ICE has been unbelievable. Border Patrol has been unbelievable. And she wants to get rid of ICE. She wants to dismember ICE. She wants to take them out. And if you didn't have ICE, you'd have a problem in this country. ICE would go in. I remember in Long Island with us, they had a gang that was brutal, MS-13 gang. They came out of prisons from different places. And they formed, for whatever reason, Long Island seems to be a place. And I'll never forget the scene of ICE going into a rat's nest, they call them, when you have a lot of them together, rat's nest. And they walked into that nest, and you just saw arms and fists and feet. Everybody was flying. And 3 minutes later, he saw it. 3 minutes later, they walked out with these guys, dragging them out by their feet and throwing them into paddy wagons and bringing them into jails. And then we got them out of the country and moved them back to where they came from, which Obama was unable to do when he was president. Obama was unable to do because the countries wouldn't participate. They wouldn't allow him back. But I called those countries, 3 of them. Guatemala, take a look. Mexico, too, to a large extent. And I think probably the worst of all, we had 4 countries. Colombia was rough. We had 4 in South America. But the South America is no longer the problem. We have bigger problems elsewhere. Guatemala, a lot of problems in Guatemala. A lot of bad people coming out. We called, I said, let me speak to the president. I told him, you're not getting any more foreign aid. They got $750 million a year. I said, no more foreign aid. Why? Because you send people over in caravans and you won't take them back, and they're criminals, and we don't want them in this country. And you wouldn't take them back with Obama. They would put planes on the runways, big planes on the runways, so you couldn't land the planes loaded up with prisoners. And I said, that's okay. You can keep doing it. We're not paying you 10 cents. And they called me back 20 minutes later, one of them the next day, 3 countries. And they said we would be honored to take MS-13 back. We like them very much. We're wonderful people. And we got them out by the thousands and thousands. We got them out. And that I attribute to ICE and Border Patrol. They're incredible people. Not only is Comrade Howard, I mean, if you take a look at this, but not only is Comrade Kamala allowing illegal aliens to stampede across our border, but then it was announced about a year ago that they're actually flying them in. Nobody knew that. They were secretly flying in hundreds of thousands of people. Some of the worst murderers and terrorists you've ever seen. They were taking anybody that wanted to come in. And they're flying them in. So when they tell you about their borders a little bit better than it used to be, They only did that for election reasons. Not good, but it's a little bit better. But they don't tell you that the flights are still coming in here, bringing in thousands and thousands of illegal aliens, and they're being dropped into the midsection of our country, because all states are really border states right now. And I'm the border president. I solved it in 2016, probably got elected because of that in 2016. And really, there was nothing to do in 2020. I said to my people, I want to talk about the border, what a job I did. They said, sir, nobody cares you did it. It was good. We went from a terrible border to a great border very quickly. I did a great job. And then I come in and I look at what's happening now, and the only difference is that the border in 2016 was 1/20th what it is now. We have the worst border in the history of the world. There's never been a border like this. And I want to be the border president, and I hope you call me the border president, because I'm going to show you what a border security job we can do, and we're going to do a job like never has been done before. There's never been a border like this. I believe the real number is 21 million people are here, and many are thugs, criminals. And remember this, if you go to South America and if you go to these countries that have taken their prisoners out of their jails to empty their jails and dumped them into the United States like we're a dumping ground, you're going to see their crime rates have gone down by 50, 60, 70, and 80%. If you look at Caracas, Venezuela, they took their criminals and drug dealers and rapists off the street and they dumped them into the United States of America. Dumping ground, they call it. We're a dumping ground for Venezuela because we have stupid people running our country. And you think Biden's bad? This one's going to be worse than Biden. Over the past 3.5 years, Kamala has resettled 500,000 illegal migrants from Haiti into American communities, including over 200,000 who Kamala has illegally flown into the United States by airplane when they couldn't get through the border because the border guards backed up. They were refusing to let them in. They don't want it. They love this country. They're saying, you can't do this to our country. They flew them in right over the top of the border guards, and they're doing it right now. They're doing it right now. In Springfield, Ohio, 20,000 illegal Haitian migrants have descended upon a town of 58,000 people, destroying their way of life. They've destroyed the place. And people don't like to talk about it because even the town doesn't like to talk about it because it sounds so bad for the town. They live there. They're proud. They love the town. For years, it was a great place, safe, nice. Now they have 20,000, and I actually heard today it's 32,000. It's the new number. Illegal aliens are now coming in from all over the world, from prisons, jails, mental institutions. They're coming in at levels that we've never seen before. We cannot let this happen to our country. And I will be your border president, and I hope you call me a border president. I never thought I'd have to say that again because we fixed the border, and now it was 100% beautiful. And that includes fentanyl and drugs and everything else. We had it fixed, and now nobody's ever seen anything like it. And I guess they want to do it because we built hundreds of miles of wall, and we had hundreds of miles, I said, after we completed, much more than I said I was going to complete. And it had a huge impact. But after I completed it, we had all of this wall to be put up. It could have been put up in 200 miles, could have been put up in 3 weeks, would have been totally sealed, and much larger than I originally said, but it worked so well. We were doing so well. And not only didn't they put it up, they sold much of it for 5 cents on the dollar. Very expensive wall, has wires inside of it for technology. Hardened steel, hardened concrete, and rebar. They wanted all three. I did it as per the Border Patrol. I disagreed with the look. They said, sir, this is the only way. We had to put a anti-climb panel on top. The panel on top is an anti-climb panel. I said, I don't like the way it looks. They say, I know, but it stops people from climbing. I said, all right, we'll do it the way you want. A president has a duty to keep you safe. Kamala will turn America into a poor, violent, third world refugee camp. It already sort of is. We have elections that are a mess, and we have a border that's the worst of any border ever in the world. There's never been a country ever in the world that's allowed 21 million people to come across in a short period of time. And children and the children of American citizens are at the mercy of barbaric criminals. You take a look at what's happening in Colorado. The governor's afraid to even talk about it. The governor is a Democrat. Colorado, I hope you're going to vote for Trump because you're being stampeded by your own politicians. The governor can't talk about it because he can't go against the policies of these lunatics that want all these people to come into our country without knowing who they are. We don't even know where they come from. As of last week, I was told by Tom Homan, we had 168 countries represented over the last 12 months. In other words, people came in illegally from 168 different countries. Most people don't know there's that many countries. There's more than that in the world. We'll know them all pretty soon, I'm sure. In breaking news yesterday, the premier statistical agency at the Justice Department, you remember where David Muir tried to correct me when I said that crime is rampant like never before. He said, oh, no. He said, crime is going down. I said, where are you coming from? And, you know, you wouldn't have to need a Bureau of Justice statistics to know that crime is worse than it's ever been. And I guess they probably watched the debate and they heard this foolish man, this foolish fool, make that statement to me that, no, crime is coming down. The FBI said it was coming down. The FBI defrauded everybody because what they did is they used statistics not including some of the worst areas and some of the worst cities. So the real numbers are from the Bureau of Justice Statistics, and they just released it. So I think they probably like me because they wanted to defend me from people that are not smart, from a guy who has good hair but not as good as it was 5 years ago, to be honest. And they just released brand new numbers, just out last night, late, showing that since 2020, so this guy, David Muir, was correcting me, the FBI. Now, the FBI defrauded, just like they defrauded on the jobs, 118,000 jobs that didn't exist. The FBI, in this case, defrauded. So violent crime, just out, nationwide is up 40%. Rape is up 42%. Car theft is up 42%. Aggravated assaults are up 55%. And violent attacks on strangers are up much more than 61%. So those are your numbers. See, those are the numbers. Now, I think he corrected me 11 times. Of the 11 times, I don't think he had the right to correct me at all. Didn't correct her once. Like on Project 2025, I have no idea about. It had nothing to do with me. He didn't correct her. He knew that. Charlottesville, nothing was done wrong. All you had to do is read my statement one more sentence, and you would have seen that. Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Jesse, all of them. Greg Gutfeld, they all took that and they corrected it many times, but they keep coming with the same lies. I'm going to save Social Security, and I'm going to make it good, and we're not going to raise the age, just as I did for 4 years when many Democrats wanted me to do something about it. And she'll go around saying, oh, Trump is going to do bad things to Social Security. No, she's going to do, because she's putting these illegal immigrants onto Social Security, onto Medicare, and she's going to destroy those programs, and the people are going to have to pay. But I'm going to save them. But David Muir said exactly, I quote, President Trump, as you know, this is after I made the statement that crime is at record numbers. President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is coming down in this country. Now, anybody that says it's coming down, when you look at all of the migrant crime and all of the other crime, and this doesn't even include most of the migrant crime. So it's up 55, 65, 75, and 85. One category is up 89%. And these numbers have just been released by the government. I appreciate the person that released them. I think he came to my defense, actually. But the people understand it. In fact, he was wrong. The FBI totally fudged the numbers. And I really believe it's actually a fraud what the FBI did. It's a fraud. And it was a fraud when the administration, I call it the Kamala, because I don't even know who our president is anymore. Where is this guy? They took it away. This was an overthrow of the president of the United States. This was a coup. He got 14, think of it. He got 14 million votes. She got no votes. She was the first one that lost, and now I'm running against her. They went in. I was 19 points up in the poll. I saw their poll. They went up after the debate with Biden. I have debates with everybody. But the first debate, we had two debates. We didn't have one. First, I had Biden, and he was 19 to 21 down. And they went, that's when they went, and they said, you can't win. You're going to get out. And he said, no, I'm not. I'm not going to get out, which was his right to say. They said, well, if you don't get out, we're going to execute the 25th Amendment. And he said, like I said, I'm going to get out. And he hates her beyond any. I think he hates her probably almost as much as he hates me. I think he still hates me a little bit more. But he hates her. He hates her. He hates what she did. And, you know, when they talk about democracy, well, that's not democracy. He had 14 million votes. She had none. And she was the first one out of the 22 people or so that ran as a Democrat. She never made it to Iowa, first state. She never made it to Iowa. She was the first one out, and now she's running. So you tell me how that works. They wanted to be politically correct, that's all. But we're not going to let her destroy our country. In fact, the David Muir character, he's lost so much respect. Everyone's talking about him. He's a joke. And ABC News is a joke, too. But most of the fake news is pretty much of a joke. He said that the FBI, and he didn't know this, I guess, at the time. He probably did. But the numbers and the cities that weren't included in those numbers were Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland, New Orleans, and many others of similar crime numbers. In other words, so they didn't include the worst crime numbers in the country. Look at those numbers. Chicago's not included. Los Angeles not included. So they could say the numbers are flat, but they didn't include the big boys. And that's a fraud on the public. And as I said, it was a fraud also, just like with the so it's 818,000 jobs that they said existed that didn't exist. And they thought they could hold the number off until after the election, anytime after November 5th. But that didn't work out because they had a whistleblower that released the numbers. And then you have Kamala's claim that she worked at McDonald's. She never worked at McDonald's. It's a lie. They went in, they investigated it, and the fake news won't report that. They won't report it. The only one that reported it was Fox, but the fake news won't. She never worked at McDonald's. She said she stood over those French fries when they were being fried, and it was so tough work. She never worked there. She's a liar. She's a liar. But the fake news ought to report she's a liar, because that sounds like a little thing, but it's a big thing, because it tells you they lie. They lie about everything. They lie about statements on the military. Nobody loves the military more than me. She got up today. She said things that were just lies. She's just made up. What's bad for Trump? Oh, this would be, say something bad about the military. Oh, he said bad about the military. Just like McDonald's. A total lie. It's the way they do it. And her VP choice, I think, will go down as a catastrophic choice. Now, maybe I'll be wrong. I'll let you know on November 6th. But I can't believe that that guy is an asset. They had other people that would have been. Comrade Kamala Harris and the communist left have also destroyed the economy and the quality of life all across this state and all across our country. As vice president, what she's done to our country is not even thinkable. California has the highest inflation, the highest taxes, the highest gas prices, the most illegal aliens, the most regulations, the most expensive utilities, and it ranks as the third worst state to start a business. It also has the most people leaving it. I love this place. Look at this. I own this. No partners, no mortgage, no nothing. I own it. And I'm talking so badly about the state. It hurts me to do it. I would never do this except for the fact that I'm running for president and I want to save the country. So I'd rather sacrifice this than lie or not speak. But think of it. I'm knocking the hell out of the state of California. I'm saying how bad she was and what a bad job she's done. What a horrible Governor Newsom has been. He's been horrible. So many people leaving. And I'm hurting my own property. And that cost me lots of money. But it's okay, because this is unimportant compared to saving the United States of America. So I do it for that reason. But those are the numbers, what Kamala Harris's policies will do to America. The cost of living here is nearly 40% higher than the national average, and the cost of housing is 97% higher, and the national average is through the roof. And it all took place in the last 3.5 years because I had no inflation, essentially no inflation. And it stayed that way for 2 years. So it wasn't like, oh, gee, it was ready to pop. No, we had it done. We had it down to a science. We had no inflation, 1.4%, which is perfect. That's better than no. That's a perfect number. If you go to the economist, they said, because you want a little bit, but you don't want much. It's a perfect number. It was perfect. The country was perfect. We were drilling. We were taking it out. Now we're buying our oil from Venezuela. It's not even believed. It's interesting. They give him billions of dollars now, Maduro, the dictator. I call him the owner of Venezuela. They give him billions and billions of dollars, but then they foreclose on his plane. They take away an old junky plane. It's not a good plane. They take away an old junky plane. And I said, well, it's okay. He'll buy a much better one. We give him, think of it, a country takes away his airplane, but pays him billions of dollars for their oil, which is the worst oil on the planet. It's tar. And it has to be refined. There's only one plant in the entire world that can refine that junk. And you know where it's located? In Houston, Texas, for the environmentalists. So Houston, Texas is refining tar, and that stuff is going up into the air. It's the only place in the whole world that can refine that very bad stuff. The state is rapidly going busted with a record $68 billion budget deficit last year. $68 billion deficit for a state. And the government is so incompetent that it costs $1.7 million to install a single public toilet in San Francisco. They built a toilet for $1.7 million. And it's not even nice. I saw pictures of it. I built this whole thing for less than that. Unsurprisingly, more Americans are now leaving California than any other state in the union, and over 500 companies have left since 2020. It hurts me to say it. Look, I have this unbelievably valuable asset, and here I am knocking the hell. I'm sitting here thinking, and I know this, I've known it for every time I speak badly of New York. We have a very bad attorney general there. She's a political hack who got elected saying, I will get Trump, I will get Trump, I will get him, Letitia James. And they had a phony case where they value a house that's worth $1 billion to $1.5 billion at $18 million. The judge was corrupt. And she's corrupt, very corrupt person. It's a political hack. And then we have the other cases that they're all headed up by the White House. They sent their people in, one person in particular, but they sent their people in to head up the cases in the state. They sent their people in from the DOJ in Washington, highest officials, to go to Letitia James, work there, get that started, and then go to the DA in Manhattan. But I think the appellate courts are going to see what's happening. I really do. I believe in that. But it's hurting New York because businesses are moving out of New York because of it. They used a consumer fraud statute, which has never been used before for this, to get me in New York. And I had no jury. You can't have a jury. You're not entitled to a jury. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. But I'm sure, I feel sure that the appellate courts will come in and defend, because otherwise our country is finished. A thing like that can happen. And no company wants to move into New York because of it. Very, very bad for New York. In the face of this crisis, the Kamala Harris Democrats in Sacramento, they're in Sacramento and all over the place, just passed a bill that I think the governor's rejecting. I hope he rejects, but I think he was given a lot of pressure. $150,000 home loans for only illegal aliens. But the fact that it even passed, I would imagine he'd reject it if he hasn't already done so. They also passed a law that allows state authorities to take children from their parents if they don't, quote, affirm their child's gender identity. When Kamala Harris said the values that she has have never changed, I really think that was probably the only true statement that she made. They've stayed true, and you look at what they are. They're the same as what they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They want to confiscate your guns. They want to take your guns away. They're going to take your guns away if I'm not elected. Anybody that owns a gun, if you vote for them, you're crazy. Any Jewish person that votes for Kamala is crazy. She wouldn't go to see the Prime Minister of Israel in Congress. Think of that, because she had a sorority party, which she considered to be more important. It's a big deal when a Prime Minister comes to Congress and speaks, and she doesn't want to go because she's at a sorority party. But that wasn't really the reason. The real reason is that she hates Israel. And I say that Israel will not exist in 2 years from now if she's elected president. And she'll be very happy if that happened. Israel will not mark me down. You know, they have a hat, and I didn't put it. They say, you know, Trump was right about everything. I've been right about everything. So I end on that, and I just want to say that I'm going to hopefully be elected. Polls have gone way up since the debate. I'm going to be reelected and come in for a second time. We did, as I said, much better the second time than we did the first, but some bad things happened. But we're doing it now, and more importantly, I'm looking to the future. We're going to make our country bigger, better, greater than ever before. We're going to turn it around. We're going to get rid of the criminals that have been allowed to come into our country and prey upon our citizens, their children. We're going to get them out. And it's an honor that you're here. If you'd like to take some questions. No? No, excuse me. Most of my Republican allies had said I was great in the debate. You're just like, you know, a lot of other people at Fox. Well, why don't you say most 94% of the Republicans said I did phenomenally in the debate. Some said that I could have been tougher. I don't know how I could have been tougher when I said he's the worst president and she is the worst vice president in the history of our country. 94% of the Republicans, and the only one that wouldn't, maybe a Mitt Romney or somebody like that. But we've gotten great praise for the debate, and based on the polls, like Rasmussen being up 6 today, the first poll out, based on the polls, obviously, I did well in the debate. Also, based on the debate polls, where I sometimes had, in one case, 92% win. So, you know, look, you come from Fox. You shouldn't play the same game as everybody else. Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I don't know what they would say. Laura's been a supporter of mine, just like a lot of people are supporters, and she's been a supporter of mine. She speaks very positively of the campaign. I'm not sure why you asked that question, but Laura is a supporter. I don't control Laura. Laura has to say what she wants. She's a free spirit. Well, I don't know. I mean, look, I can't tell Laura what to do. Laura's a supporter. I have a lot of supporters. So I don't know what exactly you're referring to. That's okay. Yeah, please. I just don't know. Laura's a supporter. I don't know. She is a strong person. She's got strong opinions, and I don't know what she said, but that's not up to me. She's a supporter. Please. Okay, a lot of people do. It's a very big plane. Well, I have to see what the remarks are. You're telling me for the first time we're here discussing the destruction of San Francisco and California by a person that's running for president. So I don't even know what you're talking about. I do know that she may have said something based on what you're telling me, but I don't know what she said. But I'll go take a look and I'll put out a statement later on. But I really don't know. Please. Yes. Well, we could, and maybe we'll do that. Where are you from? That's good. Very good. They're doing a very good job. Yeah, that's very good. No, I will, maybe Springfield, maybe Aurora, maybe both. We'll go there. I can say this. We will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. You know, he told Biden he's not accepting anybody back. They moved all their criminals. Not all of them, but the rest are moving in now. They emptied their jails in Venezuela, emptied their criminals, emptied the nests. They call them nests of bad people. They're all now in the United States, and they're now taking over cities. It's like an invasion from within. And we're going to have the largest deportation in the history of our country. And we're going to start with Springfield and Aurora. Okay? No. The real threat is what's happening at our border. Because you have thousands of people being killed by illegal migrants coming in and also dying. You have women dying as they come up. They're coming up in large groups. We call it a caravan. I think I came up with that name, but it's really what it is. 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people. And you have large numbers of women being killed in those caravans coming up to this country. And then when they get here, they can go into the country and they end up being sex slaves and everything else. Those are your real problems, not the problem that you're talking about. Yeah, okay. Well, if you go to the people of California, they don't want to have sanctuary cities anymore. They're tired of sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities are really blocks that protect bad people from deportation and other problems. And they're going to do it. And our federal government has tremendous power. But we're not going to let states, even like California, even though I know it's largely a sanctuary state, essentially, but we're not going to let that happen to the people of California. They want these people out. They're just as scared as everybody else. The people of Ohio are scared. The people of Colorado, you have a governor there who's very weak. He doesn't know what to do. And he doesn't want to talk about it. A lot of it, as per your question, they don't want to talk about what's happening. They say it's so bad for the city. Let's not go public. Let's live with it for a little while. Maybe it'll go away. It's not going to go away. It's going to get worse. It's going to get so bad. You know what we're experiencing now is they're just getting settled in. There's 21 million people that have come in. They're just getting settled in. It's going to get much worse. It's going to get worse at a level like nobody's ever seen before. Go ahead. Yeah. That's right. By lowering taxes and regulations. And what they're doing is they're seeing that every time it looks like Kamala's doing well, companies want to leave. Stock markets go down. The stock market, there's a great gentleman, Scott Bessent, who is one of the top Wall Street people. He said the market's only up because they all think that Trump is going to get elected. We had a great stock market. Even with COVID, we ended up handing over a market that was higher than previous to COVID or the China virus coming in. No, we are going to make sure that the taxes are going to stay where they are and or come down, ideally come down, both for the middle class and for corporations, because corporations put the people to work. We had the best numbers in the history of our country, by far, not even close. And there are companies leaving because they cannot stand what's happening right now to our country. And one of the reasons I'm doing this today is to let them know you're not going to have to leave because we're going to take care of the problem. They have a tremendous crime problem. Like if you're in Los Angeles, look at the crime numbers. And then you have the FBI lying about the numbers, saying the numbers went down. But anybody with common sense know the numbers are through the roof. I didn't know they were as high as they are. But think of it. How good is a person from a government agency that would release the numbers when they saw that I was unfairly targeted by ABC, and you could say by the FBI with false numbers. So, I mean, I have great respect. I have to find out who that person is or who that group is, but I have great respect. Go ahead, one more. You okay? I'll be able to make phone calls and solve most of the problems. I may actually have to meet a couple of times. But, you know, Viktor Orban, and you've heard me say this, but it wasn't long ago, he said the only way you're going to solve the world problem is Trump has to be president again. And I don't say it. I didn't say it. I sort of would be embarrassed to say it. But he said everybody was afraid of Trump. He said China was afraid. Russia was afraid. North Korea was afraid. Everybody was afraid. We had no wars. We defeated ISIS in 4 weeks, and they said it was going to take 5 years, right? The generals in Washington. I went there and met a great general and some great people. And I said, go to it. And he took them out in 4 weeks, 100% of the ISIS caliphate. I flew there. I flew to Iraq, to the field, and they took them out in a very short period of time, short order. We have a great military, but, you know, a great military needs a leader. If you don't have leaders, then you end up with Afghanistan, the worst withdrawal from a country in the history. Look, I've gotten to know great people. I went to Arlington at their request, and I stood, and I was with them for hours, and I stood with them. They did a ceremony, and then they asked me if I'd go down to the graves of their children. They called them their children, that they always will be their children. And there were tears all over, as there should be. And they said, sir, could you take pictures with me by the grave of my son, in one case a daughter? And I said, I'd love to. And I took pictures with them for a while, and then I left, and that was it. And I got home, and I got a call from the people in the campaign. Sir, the Biden people are saying that you did this for publicity. If people knew how hard it was to get there, because I was coming from a location that was very far away, and yet they were having the ceremony, and I really felt, you know, I had them up to Bedminster, most of the family members, and I got to know them. They're great people. Their sons and daughter, just as though Kamala shot them with a pistol in her hand or his hand, they were killed by Biden and Kamala. They were killed. They should have never left from that airfield. They should have left for Bagram. We should have never given up Bagram. Bagram now is controlled by China. The reason we shouldn't have given it up was not because of Afghanistan. The reason we shouldn't have given it up, 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons, and I wasn't giving it up. We were getting out quickly and effectively. I'm the one that got the numbers down to less than 5,000 soldiers. But I would have never left unless they fulfilled their obligations under an agreement. I had a wonderful agreement, but the agreement said you have to do this, this, this. They didn't do 3 of the first 5 things, so therefore they would have done it. Abdul was the leader, and he wouldn't have done it, and he would have never done that to us. And just in finishing up with that, and I appreciate the question, actually, but in finishing up with that, for 18 months, spoke to Abdul over the phone. For 18 months, not one American soldier was shot or killed. Not one American soldier was even shot at. Abdul understood. Don't do it. I said, don't do it, Abdul. Don't do it. And for 18 months, not one soldier was even shot at. And that's the way it's supposed to be, right? And then they had that horrible situation with the 13 dead, leaving billions of dollars of equipment behind. And leaving a lot of Americans behind, a lot of Americans. And you know what else? Leaving a lot of soldiers badly wounded. Nobody ever talks about them, but I do. Well, I would have a great relationship with them. And what you have to do is start all over again. You cannot have these policies of high taxation. You can't have these policies of politics where you go after your politicians. You have to have an honest voting system because, you know, you don't have an honest voting system. They send out millions and millions of ballots. They go all over the place. Some people get 2, 3, 4, 5. You have a very dishonest system over here. If I ran with an honest vote counter in California, I would win California. But the votes are not counted honestly. It's a very dishonest system that you have in California. And I'd make it business friendly. Right now, it's business unfriendly. Look, Elon Musk is a friend of mine. He endorsed me very powerfully. He endorses me every time he speaks. He really wants to see us win because he knows we can do a great job and turn it around. He left California. I said to him, Elon, did anybody ever call you? It's a big company. He moved to Texas. A lot of people moving to Texas. Great state. Excellent governor, an excellent lieutenant governor. Great people. They love entrepreneurs. They love the people that live there. They want to keep their taxes low. Taxes are way too high here. But I said to Elon, so you have a big company and you're moving it to Texas from California. Did anybody call you, like the governor, to try and get you to stay? No. Did anybody see you, write a letter, do anything to try and keep you to stay? You have thousands of jobs. He said, nobody ever called. There'd be so many things you could do. This would be the easiest place to turn around if they knew what to do. Look at it. I mean, look at the weather. We're standing out here on the Pacific Ocean in the most beautiful weather. A lot of states don't have weather like this. They don't have Pacific Oceans. So it's many things you could do, but you start with lowering taxes and making it friendly. But think of it, Elon Musk, a great guy, brilliant guy, big company, lots of jobs, leaving. Nobody even calls him to try and get him to stay. I would have been on him. I would have said, let's have lunch, let's have dinner, and then let's have breakfast the following morning, right? I would have tried to talk him out of it. Yeah, go ahead, please. No, I don't know that much about it. No, I don't. I know she's a big fan of the campaign, but I really don't know. I would say that, well, she brings a spirit to us that a lot of people have. We have very spirited people. And in all fairness to her, she hates seeing what's happened to the country, I guess. I mean, she hates seeing what's happened to the country. So do I. It's very sad. It's very sad when I have to stand out here on my property and say how bad California is. Did you have another one? They are. Well, we're going to help them, and I told John, the local mayor, but I told John we're going to help him with his slide problem. You know, there are ways of fixing that. We discussed it. He knows better than anybody, and he needs help from the federal government. He needs help from the state government, and it's a very wealthy area, but you also have people living here that are elderly and have fixed incomes and have houses that are going to be, you know, shoved into the Pacific Ocean if something's not done, and he wants it taken care of. He's a great mayor. He wants it taken care of. He wants nothing for himself. He just wants to help these people. And John, I think you said you have about 600 houses on the site that's sliding, and he'd like to be able to save those houses for people that some of which will never be able to have a house again. You know, it's pretty sad. No, I'm not selling. No, I love it. I mean, I use it as a method of getting out my word. You know, when it opened, it went way high, but then the SEC gave us nothing but problems. We had to go through a long, long process with the SEC. But people think that I'm leaving. That's why they're down, because if I leave, you know, it's different if I leave. But I'm not leaving. I love it. I think it's great. Mechanically, it works the best. And again, I'm friendly with Elon, and Elon would love me to come over to X, but I just, you know, I have close to 100 million people on X. I had 230 million people on X, and then they shut me down, and I said, I'm not going to let that happen again. You know that. I had hundreds of millions of people on X, at Facebook, and Instagram, I think more than anybody. Zuckerberg told me at the White House, he said, congratulations, you're number one on Facebook. This is a number of years ago. And then all of a sudden I went from being number one to having no voice. And after about 2 or 3 weeks, because I have a lot to say, I put out old-fashioned press statements, like a press statement. And they got really successful, and they did very well. And then we built this platform, and the reason I built it is because I don't want to have my voice shut down. But a lot of people think that I'll sell my shares. You know, they're worth billions of dollars, but I don't want to sell my shares. I'm not going to sell my shares. I don't need money. And it is for me, it's a great voice. It's a great voice. And it's a voice, it works so well. And we just won, as you know, we got final approval from the SEC. It took us a long time. And that really turned it off. You know, when I originally opened that stock, it went from about 2 to about 182. Did you know that? It was the biggest increase in the history of the stock market. I believe, you know, I have to say I believe, because you're going to find one company, maybe more, who knows. But I believe it was the single biggest movement. And I think I was worth $61 billion from that one stock. And then we had nothing but problems with the SEC. And it gets whittled down, down, down. But I didn't do it for the money. I did it because I really wanted to have a strong voice. And it's a great voice for me. And as long as my voice is on there, it's going to always be good. But a lot of people think the reason it's down is that a lot of people think I'm going to sell. And if I sell, it wouldn't be the same. I could understand that. But I have absolutely no intention of selling. Okay?
You started talking about this community of Palos Verdes. You talked about California. We have fires raging to the east.
I agree. I agree.
What will you do to help people in this state whose homes are being damaged again and again, or are falling, off of these cliffs right behind us, or burned down, or for the people across the country whose homes are jeopardized by natural disaster?
This is my favorite question of the day. You're asking me what would I do for. Let's talk California first. Is that okay? You mind? So, I was riding with Devin Nunes and some congressmen 4 years ago. I was riding up north in California, and I looked at these fields that were massive. I was telling John, right? It's my favorite question. I love that somebody would ask me this question, and I never told you to do it, right? Who are you with?
Spectrum News.
Good. Spectrum. It's good. New, hot, right? It's hot. It's doing well, but that's because you ask good questions. So what happened, I'm saying why I look at this field, and it's massive, and in the middle of the field is a little spot of the most green, plush land you've ever seen. I said, and then I'd see another one, these little plots like 1 and 2 acres, and you'd have 1,000 acres that's barren and dead and dark. And I said, what's the problem here? What is that green acreage? The soil is unbelievably fertile, but they have no water. I said, so do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. We have the water is cut off upstate, up in the north, you know that? And the water, in order to protect a certain little tiny fish called a smelt, they send millions and millions of gallons of water out to the Pacific Ocean, way up north. Never even gets close to here. And in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills, all these rich areas, they want to give you like 38 gallons of water to use. You buy a house for a lot of money, and then you're allowed to use 38 gallons of water. But you have no water down here. And the reason you have no water, you have the canals. The reason you have no water is because Gavin Newsom didn't want to do it. I had it all done. I had the Department of Commerce at the time. Believe it or not, they're the ones that rule on this particular issue. So you have millions of gallons of water pouring down from the north with the snow caps in Canada and all pouring down. And they have essentially a very large faucet. And you turn the faucet, and it takes 1 day to turn it. It's massive. It's as big as the wall of that building right there behind you. And you turn that, and all of that water goes aimlessly into the Pacific. And if they turned it back, all of that water would come right down here and right into Los Angeles. They wouldn't have to have people not use more than 30 gallons and 32 gallons. They want to do that, they're trying to do that. And you have so much water, and all those fields that are right now barren, the farmers would have all the water they needed. And you could revert water up into the hills where you have all the dead forests, where the forests are so brittle. Because no place is like California. I go to Austria. The head of Austria tells me, we have trees that are much more flammable than what you have in California. We never have forest fires because they maintain their forests. And you have all that water that could be used as water, what they call water flow, where where the land would be damp. And you'd stop many of these horrible fires that are costing billions and billions of dollars by the federal government, etc. So one thing I'm going to do for California, vote for me, California. I'm going to give you safety. I'm going to give you a great border. And I'm going to give you more water than almost anybody has. And the farmers up north are going to be able to use 100% of their land, not 1% of their land. And the water is going to come all the way down to Los Angeles. And you're going to have more water than you ever saw. And the smelt is not making it anyway. In fact, they make and grow smelt because it dies all the way up and down the line, and they put stuff that was artificially made. You know that. So you're going to have water in California at a level that you've never seen before. The farmers are going to do great. Those fields are going to be all green instead of 1% green. And maybe even more important, you're not going to have illegal immigrants pouring into your country and killing your family. You're not going to have the problems that you have right now. We're going to lower your taxes. We're going to bring the car industry back because your car industry is gone. We're bringing it back to Detroit at levels that you'll never see again. We'll bring it back to better than it was 30 years ago. But with this group, everything is dead. The automobile industry is dead. The water coming here is dead. And Gavin Newsom is going to sign those papers. And if he doesn't sign those papers, we won't give him money to put out all his fires. And if we don't give him the money to put out his fires, he's got problems. He's a lousy governor. And he treated me very nicely, and I treated him very nicely when I was president. But he's done a lousy job. But there's a case. I said, Gavin, will you sign? It took him like a month and a half or 2 months, and then he decided for political reasons. And then we got hit with COVID, and we had to solve another problem. But you're going to have so much money, Mr. Mayor. You're going to have so much money from economic activity and growth. And you're going to have water like you never thought. Now, in your case, maybe you don't want so much water. But we'll bypass your beautiful area. But we have tremendous amounts, millions of gallons of water that's shoved right into the Pacific Ocean where it doesn't make a dent. And all of that water is going to take care of California. And nobody can make a bigger promise than that. You're not going to have to do desalinization plants, which a lot of people want to do. Very expensive to do, but it's better than the alternative of no water. So California, vote for Trump. And you're going to have water, and you're going to have growth, and you're going to have prosperity. And all those people that are leaving are going to really come back. Thank you very much.
Why haven't you endorsed Steve Garvey? Why have you not endorsed Steve Garvey? Will you endorse Steve Garvey?
Shut down if Johnson can't get the state back.
What's your closing argument to the people of California? Thank you, everyone. Will you endorse Steve Garvey against Adam Schiff?
I think that's it. I think that is it. Okay. Well, we just watched Trump's news conference. He did take questions. Let me just update the headline so people don't think we're still waiting for it. Trump news conference in California, post-show. Post coverage. All right, I'll take some comments from you guys. He did take questions. He came on and he spoke for probably like, 45 minutes or something before he took questions. But he did take questions. I'm sorry we couldn't hear the questions, a lot of them. Look, it's a difficult, right side broadcasting let us use our footage. So it's really nice of them. And it's a difficult broadcasting environment. So it's hard enough for them to get, I'm sure, to get the signal out and just get us, the Trump sound was good. So I'm sorry we couldn't hear the questions, but at least we could hear him answering stuff, and you could hear him. I mean, like, clearly he was asked about the DJT stock, which he talked about for a while and stuff like that. So, anyways, again, I really thank Right Side for letting us use their footage so we could show you that. Hey, let me take some comments from you. What did you guys think? Hey, as I said, if Kamala Harris wants to do a news conference, I will cover it. If she wants to do a news conference where she comes out and she speaks for 45 minutes and then takes questions, I will cover it. So I will cover the news conferences when they happen. But he did take questions. Thanks to Ron. Hey, a couple quick thank yous here. Ronald Kame, thank you. Brambo09, thank you. Murdoch Engineering, Sonic Teal, Child of God 74, thanks for your support. Megan Reindl, Walter Beasley, Cheryl Moran, Boomer Wow, Lunar Guardian, Marnie, Uncle Lester Cam. Thank you for your support. Let me take some comments from you guys. Also Tech Slug. Thank you, Tech Slug, for your support as well. Thanks, Tech Slug. I appreciate that. And okay, what did you guys think? What did you think? Jesse's girl thought it was a great speech and he answered questions. When he's a bunch of the stuff, as some of you guys were saying this in the chat, a bunch of the things he were talking about are things he talks about at his rallies. Fred Luna says, I wish he had more energy. Let's see here. What did you guys think? Misanthropic says he only made rebuttals he couldn't manage during the debate. Lefty says it's nice to actually hear from one of the presidential candidates, not hide in the basement. Karen Horvath says that she doubts that Kamala Harris will do this. Blue Skunk says she won't do any. Let's do a poll question. We're going to do a poll question, okay? Because I actually think, I think you can have different opinions on this question, no matter what you think of Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. So I'm going to do a poll question, but I want you to actually vote not based on whether you like Trump or Harris, but what you actually think will happen. So the question is, because I think it's a good question, will Kamala Harris do a news conference? I'm considering news conference and press conference interchangeable. Conference before the election, all right? It's a yes or no question. I honestly don't know. I honestly do not know the answer to this. So I'm gonna do a little poll and ask you guys. I know you guys like polls. I know you like polls. So we'll see what you think. Do you think she will do a news conference before the election? Let's see what you guys have to say. Hold on a moment here. I'm going to show you right now what you guys said. All right, so over there on YouTube, it's pretty divided over there. Oops, why is that so big? This is what I wanted to do here. There, that's what I wanted to do. Our YouTube viewers, that's an AP article you're seeing on the screen. Our YouTube viewers, 55% say no, she will not do a news conference. 45% says yes, say yes, she will do a news conference. How about over there? I think on Twitch they're a little more optimistic. People on Twitch are a little more optimistic. Over on Twitch we got 54% say yes and 46% say no. Oh, the DJT stock is up. Let's talk about that. All right, so thank you for voting in the poll. You guys are pretty split on that question, though. So thanks for voting in the poll. Let's talk about the DJT. Let me check the DJT stock. Okay, so according to Google, DJT stock is up 25%, basically since Trump claimed he was not going to sell. So this is the stock that is of the Trump Media Group, and they own Truth Social. Trump can sell his stock in it soon if certain conditions are met. And he said he wasn't going to sell today. So now the stock is up 25% since he said that, it looks like. Yeah, because this is in the last 20 minutes or so. I'll actually show you something about the whole Trump stock thing. Hold on. Kev Machine thinks he will sell. Hey, look, I got an article for you right here. I got an article. Trump's closing in on being able to sell his shares of Truth Social's parent company. But will he? This is from Associated Press. He claimed in the press conference today that he's not going to. Shares of Trump Media... the former president can start selling shares of Truth Social's parent company next week, starting on September 19th, when a lockup provision ends, if he chooses to do so. That's because the lockup provision prevented company insiders from selling newly issued shares for 6 months. Trump owns nearly 115 million shares of the company, according to a recent filing with the SEC. based on an $18 closing price, the shares would be worth approximately $2 billion. The question remains if Trump will decide to sell any of his shares. Even though he'd be certain to receive a sizable payout, the stock is now worth considerably less than when it was valued at several months ago. When it made its debut on the NASDAQ in March, it hit a high of close to $80. The stock is now at around $20 today after going up about 25% after Trump in his press conference said he wasn't going to sell it. Trump Media, says AP, runs the social media platform True Social, which Trump created after he was banned from Twitter and Facebook following the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. Based in Sarasota, Florida, Trump Media has been losing money and struggling to raise revenue. It lost nearly $58 million last year, while generating only $4.1 million in revenue, according to regulatory filings. Shares of Trump Media have been considered a meme stock by some market experts, which is a nickname given to stocks that get caught up in buzz online and shoot way beyond what traditional analysis says they are worth. The stock has fluctuated for the past several months, with trading largely driven by individual investors who are typically considered less sophisticated than day traders. Anyways, so he said today he wasn't going to sell it, and the stock is up, as you can see, about 24% today, basically since he said it. That's from Google there. Okay. Chris B. thinks he manipulated the market for his own gain. I am not a security law expert, so I cannot speak to potential manipulation in a case like this. I don't know if anything he said would be considered market manipulation. That I don't know. Thanks, by the way, to TechSlug for your support on Twitch. Let's see. Let me just see if I have anything else about his stock. Hold on a second here. Here's another article on, now this was an article from the Washington Post from 6 days ago. Trump Media stock plunge cost Trump $4 billion in potential wealth. The shares have been plunging in value in the weeks before he can sell them, a losing streak that has at least temporarily erased billions of dollars from his paper net worth. Trump is the biggest shareholder of Trump Media and Technology Group, but he's been unable to sell his over 100 million shares because of a standard lockup agreement that began when his company first went public through a merger in March. And that lockup ends later this month. His stock has plummeted about 70% to almost $17, an all-time low since the merger was approved. At that price, his roughly 60% of the stake in the company would be valued around $2 billion. Trump has not said what he will do with the shares after the lockup expires. He did say today, this article is from like 6 days ago, he did say today that he's not going to sell. Even a sale, even at the recent depressed prices, would be enormously profitable for Trump. But the stock's nosedive suggests the market has doubts over the company's performance. Another thing is, remember, Trump owes over 100 million shares. So if he started selling, that could cause the price of the stock could go down, right? So there's that. I don't know that he could just sell them all for the market value. Trump Media lost more than $16 million in the second quarter and earned less than $1 million in revenue, the company said last month. Some analysts expect the stock, which trades under Trump's initials GJT, could plunge further if Trump loses the presidential election in November. This analyst a vice president for research at the financial services firm Morningstar, John Reckenthaler, said there is no conceivable upside from the business aspect. This is a personality stock and a celebrity stock. They're trying to become a streaming media platform, but there's not enough capital to fund it, and they're late, just like they were late on the social media game. It's just not a well-designed business. A Trump campaign spokesman referred the comment to Trump Media, whose spokesman Shannon Devine said in a statement that Trump Media is rapidly building out our platform while maintaining a strong balance sheet. She added that the company had successfully launched a video streaming service on its uncancelable, custom-built content delivery network and had maintained a strong financial position with $344 million in cash and cash equivalents and zero debt. Okay. Trump's lockup period, where he could start selling the stock after the lockup period ends, is expected to end around September 20th, about a week from now, based on calculations established in financial filings and tied to the stock's performance. Other executives and early investors in the company granted millions of dollars worth of salaries and stock will also be released from the lockup, and they will be allowed to sell some or all of their shares around the same time. But a sell-off in the shares among company leadership could undermine the stock, driving new investors away. This expert from Morningstar, this vice president at Morningstar, said, "You don't want to be left holding a bag of possibility that once was overflowing. But if you rush the process," meaning he's talking about the insiders who hold the stock, "but if you rush the process to sell your stock, that pushes down the stock price. It also doesn't look good to shareholders or generally to your belief in the company and its prospects." The Washington Post says that Trump's shares in the company represent one of his biggest economic assets and could provide a major infusion of cash as he and his campaign are facing financial strain. Also, Trump has been ordered to pay at least $454 million in a civil fraud case in New York and $83 million in a defamation case brought by the writer E. Jean Carroll. Trump, who is appealing both judgments, listed both liabilities as still in excess of $50 million in a financial disclosure last month. Okay. So that is from a little background on Trump stock. That is from Washington Post. Oh, what is the stock now? Let's check the stock again. Okay, it went down a little more. So this is the Google. I'm on the Google stock price page. So it says that I assume this is right around, this is during the press conference, 2:20 p.m., roughly around 2:20 p.m. Eastern time. I assume that's when he talked about saying he was not going to sell the stock. But you can see it shot up about 25%. From a little over 16 to around to over 20, but now it is back down to 1894. So we'll see what happens. That's according to Google. Now it's 1915. All right. Anyways, you can, if you want to keep up with it, it's NASDAQ DJT is the symbol. Casey Jones says, I bet it closes down. I do not own any of that stock, just so you know. I am not a financially interested party here. Chemo said he is not selling his stock. Hey, thanks to Vegas Raiders for your support. And C.E. Mills. Thank you, C.E. Mills, and also Peaceful Plants. Thank you. Shout out to our moderators as well. Really appreciate our moderators who are here. If you missed the news conference, you can rewind it and watch it. Thanks again to Right Side Broadcasting for letting me use their news conference feed. I really appreciate that. Thanks Ruth Krafasi, who is moderating right now, and also Linda Belk and Larry over there on X. And also thank you to Our moderators on Twitch, like A Moment of Lovely, Hearsay, Idaho Star, I Got That Fire, and Surly Dev. And our Facebook moderators, like Kay Lowry Body, Ronald Egnor, Margaret Riley, thank you. Do you guys want me to play the part where I can replay the part where he talked about the stock? Do you guys want me to replay that part of the press conference where he talked about the stock? Ivy June Burrow says, I want another debate. Do you guys want to see that again where he talked about the stock? No? Yes? I'm getting both yeses and nos. I don't think it was that long. I think it was pretty short. So let me go back. I don't think it was that long. I'm not going to play it for that long. Put it that way. I just got to find it here. Probably around 2:20 or something. I got to find it. Hold on.
But think of it, how good is the person that were killed by Biden who went to the Lookners on the site that's sliding? And I didn't do it for the money. I did it because I really wanted to.
I got it. I found it.
Lookners have a lot to say. You're number one on Facebook.
Okay, I believe this is where. Oops, sorry. We're no longer courtesy of Right Side Broadcasting. Hold on a second here. I got to change. It's not live anymore. Oh, I see. The thing is, I got to do this. Hold on. I got to do something. Here's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to make it bigger for you. Actually, that video is still courtesy of Right Side Broadcasting. It is still Right Side Broadcasting video. It's just not live. So let me do this. So this is not live. This is a replay. I'm going to replay the video. Maybe I can put this up on the screen here. Moments ago, I'll put up there. Moments ago. In news conference. Okay. All right, here's what he had to say about his stock when he was asked about it. You'll hear it in a second.
No, I'm not selling. No, I love it. I mean, I use it as a method of getting out my word. When it opened, it went way high, but then the SEC gave us nothing but problems. We had to go through a long process with the SEC. But people think that I'm leaving. That's why they're down, because if I leave, it's different if I leave. But I'm not leaving. I love it. I think it's great. Mechanically, it works the best. And again, I'm friendly with Elon, and Elon would love me to come over to X, but I just, I have close to 100 million people on X. I had 230 million people on X, and then they shut me down, and I said, I'm not going to let that happen again. You know that. I had hundreds of millions of people on X, and Facebook, and Instagram. I think more than anybody. Zuckerberg told me at the White House, he said, congratulations, you're number one on Facebook. This is a number of years ago. And then all of a sudden I went from being number one to having no voice. And after about 2 or 3 weeks, because I have a lot to say, I put out old-fashioned press statements, like a press statement. And they got really successful, and they did very well. And then we built this platform. And the reason I built it is because I don't want to have my voice shut down. But a lot of people think that I'll sell my shares. They're worth billions of dollars, but I don't want to sell my shares. I'm not going to sell my shares. I don't need money. And it is for me, it's a great voice. It's a great voice. And it's a voice, it works so well. And we just won, as you know, we got final approval from the SEC. It took us a long time. And that really turned it off. When I originally opened that stock, it went from about 2 to about 182. Did you know that? It was the biggest increase in the history of the stock market, I believe.
By the way, just to be clear, according to Google, the 52-week high is 79.38. I'm literally reading this on Google right now. And the stock opened, it went public, I think, in March, right? Is that when it went public? March, right? Anyways, if he's talking about when it went public, the 52-week high is 79.38. He had said 182. Anyway, let me just, I'll play that again. Hold on.
You know, I have to originally opened that stock. It went from about 2 to about 182. Did you know that? It was the biggest increase in the history of the stock market. I believe, I have to say I believe, because you're going to find one company, maybe, who knows, but I believe it was the single biggest movement, and I think I was worth 61 billion from that one stock. And then we had nothing but problems with the SEC. And it gets whittled down, down. But I didn't do it for the money. I did it because I really wanted to have a strong voice, and it's a great voice for me. And as long as my voice is on there, it's going to always be good. But a lot of people think the reason it's down is that a lot of people think I'm going to sell. And if I sell, it wouldn't be the same. I can understand that. But I have absolutely no intention of selling. Okay?
Well, he did say at least 3 times that he's not going to sell the stock. That's what he said. So again, the stock, after he said that in the press conference, the stock went up about 25%, roughly. Right now, it is up about 18% for the day. Okay. Hey, I gotta get your guys' opinion on something. So I've been trying out. I normally don't do this kind of thing, but I want to ask you, because the reason I'm doing this is for you. So I normally use I need to use headphones when we're doing a broadcast where I'm showing video, so you guys don't hear echo. I got to have headphones in so I can hear what's going on, so you're not hearing echo. But what I've been doing in recent months is using the AirPods, which are comfortable and are nice headphones. But I thought they looked a little weird because they have like the little arm that sticks out. So let me actually, I'm gonna give you guys I'm gonna let you guys vote on what you think. So I'm trying these because, and also another issue with the AirPods is that the battery life is not. It usually doesn't take me through. It's still several hours long, but some of them have longer battery, and longer battery is better because then it avoids me having to switch. It can help me avoid having to switch and take them out and put another pair in. So I'm trying these out, and it's my first day using these. These are like the Sony ones. But my question for you is, what do you think about? Oh, hold on. We paused for a second. Hang on. There we go. We're back. I'm going to show you guys. Maybe you don't even think that maybe you have no preference, but this is what these look like. And let me show you what the other ones look like that I normally use. Okay. So there's these ones, and then there's these ones. And see, these have the arm, they're a little smaller, but they have the arms on them that stick out. So I don't know if you guys have a preference or not. I'm going to we're going to do a poll in the chat right now. So that's these. That's what these look like. That's what I've been using. The Sonys, these are like these, I have to get the model number. It's like 700 something. I mean, I could get like these in white too, but most of the buds that I would get would look like something like this. White is less distracting. See, I thought you guys would think that white is more distracting. All right, hold on a second. Let me see what you guys think. Some people like one, some like the other. Which earbuds do you prefer? The AirPods, the white ones, the Sony, the black ones, and neither. Maybe you don't care. But I want to hear what you think. This will be helpful for me. I'm going to ask Twitch too. So we have AirPods, the white ones, Sony, the black ones, neither. No preference. Now I'm going to show you what you guys are saying. Here's how you guys are voting. Here is how you guys are voting. I haven't even looked myself at what the poll results are. Okay. It's going to be tough, I bet. Here is what our viewers say about the different earbuds. It's really close on YouTube. It's really close. It's like, so on YouTube, 36% say the white AirPods, 44% say the black Sonys, and 20% say neither. That's really split. Now, this is interesting. On Twitch, there's a little bit more of a preference for the black ones on Twitch. Let me show you what the Twitch vote is. But it's not like a crazy lopsided preference either way. I mean, it's actually on Twitch, it's a lot more. If you add the two up, it's not that lopsided. On Twitch, there's a typo, of course. It should say, do you prefer, not to you prefer. You know what happened? There was a typo on YouTube, and I cut and pasted it. And so on both polls, it says to you prefer instead of do you prefer. Obviously a typo. So on Twitch, 45% prefer the black ones, 14% prefer the Sonys without the little arm on them, 14% prefer the white AirPods, and 43% say no preference. Very close over on YouTube. 42% the black Sonys, 36% the white iPods, AirPods, not iPods, AirPods, I'm sorry. So I don't know. I'll have to see what I think about it. I don't know what I think. You know, it's hard because like some of you say black looks better and some of you say black looks worse. My thinking was, well, if one looks a lot better, I'd rather use the one that looks a lot better, right? It seems like, and by the way, I'm not talking about like the quality of the headphone and stuff. I mean, there's different ones you can get, but I mean, at a certain point, a lot of the black ones are going to look like this. They're going to either have an arm or not have an arm. And if they don't have an arm, they're going to look something like this. These some of them are like too shiny and I can't use them because they're too shiny or they have like a big logo on them or something. So, but I'm not concerned with, don't worry about like the sound quality and all that stuff. I'm literally just asking you how they look. Ali C says, I don't really notice them. But some of you think the white ones are way better. Kerry thinks the black ones are better. I go back and forth. Like when I go back and forth, sometimes I look at these and they say, oh, they're so noticeable. But then I look at the white ones and I'm like, oh, that looks really weird that I have these little arms sticking out. Some of our viewers are saying the black ones look more professional. What a waste of time. It's a waste of time to try to actually ask my audience at the end of a stream when we've been covering a news event and the event has already ended and I'm trying to do something on the channel for the benefit of my viewers. It's a waste of time to actually ask them in the chat. That's an interesting theory. I would think it's actually a good use of time on the channel. Rather than me to try to figure out for myself, I'd rather hear from you guys, the viewers. I'm doing it for you. All right, any other thoughts in the chat there? Let me switch it again. We never do this on the channel. But again, it's also, we've already covered the news conference. So we're kind of close to the end of the stream anyway. All right, so I'm taking these out. Let me just show you what the other ones look like. I mean, I'd rather listen to you guys about it than try to guess. These seem a little smaller but weirder. Smaller but and they're white. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that there's a strong preference between them. I do not know if I have a big preference. I have. Neither is perfect. Neither is perfect. These have the white ones have better sound. The black ones have better battery life, but you guys should not be worrying about that. I just want to know which ones you think look better. See, Jelly Plane likes these better. Go Niners likes these. Tracy thinks these ones look funny. Ruth says either one is fine. Bob likes the white. Well, I think what I can say is there's no huge preference. Light with no arm would probably look okay. I mean, again, these do stick out more, so I don't know. Some of you, a couple people say that you could get the white ones with no arm. That you could get these but they'd be white. But they'd be much bigger. They'd be bigger. These, if they were white, you'd be seeing a lot more white than you see with the other ones. Let's see. The white ones are too bright. All right. Headphones, no, I'm not doing a broadcast with giant over-the-ear headphones on. All right. Anyways. Sand Dollar likes the white. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. It's really there's really a disagreement in the chat. There's really a disagreement. I just don't know. Okay. But this has been helpful. I mean, this has been helpful because I do see that there's not like an overwhelming presence one way, a preference one way or the other. I mean, you guys, there's just people who really like one and hate the other and vice versa. All right, go with what you like best. All right, well, we'll see. These, I guess I'll try these out some. I'll try them out some and see what I think. You got to give them a little chance. So I'm going to take them off for now, but it is a nice thing. It is a nice thing having a little extra battery. I'll say that. He is risen says the Sonys don't look professional. Well, I don't know. I mean, at a certain point, nothing's going to be that professional because usually you don't see people on the air wearing earphones. But okay, anyways. All right, I think we're getting close to that time. I think we've done what we need to do here. We've done what we need to do here. But I do appreciate your guys' input on this. You never know. Barry says, whatever sounds better and fits better. Whatever sounds better and fits better. All right. Anyways, so look, I appreciate. Ultimately, by the way, the poll on YouTube was 40 to 34 for the black ones, so pretty close. Okay, so anyways, thank you to JAWD. Thank you, JAWD, who says, wear what is more comfortable and works the best for you. Okay, so if you missed the news conference, you can go back and watch it. Again, really big thanks to Right Side Broadcasting for letting us watch the news conference. And if there's big news later today, I will cover it. I'm not going to cover the Trump rally tonight. Just because I just think it's... there's a couple questions here, though. Norman Zolko says, can he own stock as the president? I don't see why he couldn't own stock as the president. Members of Congress own stock. I think sometimes, like, presidents do a thing by convention where they like make it so that their accounts are not... They're not actively managing their own accounts. But I don't believe there's any kind of law against it. So, like, I mean, I'm looking at an article right now from The Hill from July that says it's talking about senators unveiled a bipartisan plan that would ban the president, vice president, and members of Congress from buying stocks and a wide range of other financial assets. I don't believe there's any kind of ban on that right now. Yeah, NPR had a article too in July. A bipartisan group of senators unveiled a new proposal that would ban members of Congress and relatives from trading individual stocks. And again, I don't believe there's one on president or vice president either. But correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, there's an article from Reuters from last year. July of last year, members of the U.S. Congress, the president, vice president, and senior executive branch officials and their relatives will be banned from trading stocks under bipartisan legislation, which I guess hasn't passed. But that would suggest that it's not illegal. Because there was, as of last year, they were discussing a law to, and this year they were discussing a law to make it illegal. And then also, How Stuff Works has an article where they say, according to How Stuff Works, they say, according to the 1978 Ethics in Government Act, all high-ranking federal officials are required to disclose their financial holdings and recuse themselves from any government business in which they, their families, or close associates have a financial interest. All federal officials, that is, except the president, vice president, members of Congress, and federal judges. All right, so the best I can tell, there's no prohibition on the president owning stock. But that's a different issue. That is a different issue. Well, it's a bit of an issue, different issue than this stream, the topic of this stream. It's a little tangential, but we're going to start wrapping up this stream. But it's an interesting point. Thank you, Norman, for bringing that up. No, somebody suggested I use this. Mark Carrillo Valles, I appreciate your suggestion, but I don't want to wear the ones that go over the ear. Mark suggested one that goes over your ear and then like goes around the back. And then I'm wearing a thing that goes around the back of my head. I'm not doing it. I appreciate the suggestion, Mark, but it's not going to work for me. I'm not on board. Let's see here. And thanks for Raw Thought for writing in. Thank you, Raw Thought. Sent me a stock chart. But when Trump was talking about the high of the stock, he was talking about when it was actually publicly traded, which I think, again, would have only been since March, I believe. Okay. Guys, we're wrapping this up. We are wrapping up the stream. So if there's big news today, we will cover it on this channel. I really appreciate you tuning in for the broadcast. And again, thank you to Right Side Broadcasting for letting me show their feed of the news conference. If Kamala Harris does a news conference, I will cover it. If there's big developments in the Kentucky manhunt, we'll cover that as well. And but again, I appreciate you joining the stream. And subscribe and follow the channel. Subscribe and follow. Hold on. I'm just checking a couple things here. Subscribe and follow Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda. And make sure you turn on the notifications. We have a notification system that will let you know when we're going on the air. I don't know when breaking news is going to happen. I can't tell you in advance when we're going on the air. But sign up for our free notifications. They work great. We do it through Discord. The mods will post the link to the notifications in the chat. So sign up for those. And you can also find the notifications sign up link in the video description for this broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. And also, huge thanks to our moderators. They are awesome. They're the reason that we can even have chat rooms. Thank you so much. Ruth Kafasi over there and Sabrina over there on YouTube and RJ and all of our other moderators who've been there. Linda Belk and Larry on X, over on Twitch. All of our moderators who were there. Idaho Star, I Got That Fire. Surly Dev and all of the rest of them over there on Facebook. Charlotte Webb, Kay Lowry Body, Raven Riley, Beth Shepard, Raven Lid I meant, Ronald Egnor. Thank you, moderators. Big thanks. Also, huge thanks to everybody who donated. So nice of you. Really appreciate your support for the channel. That is what lets this channel exist and be on the air. So thank you so much for your support of the channel. Did I get everybody? Tech Slug said, Buddy McEarbuds. I don't know if that's a serious suggestion. Is that a kind of earbuds? Thank you, Tech Slug, for your support. And Stunned in the North, thanks for subscribing over on Twitch. If you ever want to donate to the channel, you can go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv, but thank you. Also, I will post updates on my X account, which is @Lookner. I will post news updates there. Why is that on the screen? What am I seeing? Oh, I see. Nope. What am I seeing? Oh, I know what happened. I put the poll up and it was looking at the chat. Nope, that's not it either. What did I just do now? I just did something else. There we go. That is my X account, @Lookner. Follow me there for breaking news coverage when we're not on the air. I'll post a link to that. And also, another great way, if you want programming updates, I always post those on the Agenda Free TV X. If we have some coverage coming up, So you can follow, for programming updates, follow Agenda Free TV on X at Agenda Free TV. Okay. Also, for those who subscribe on YouTube and want to get the YouTube notifications, just remember on YouTube, if you want to get the YouTube notifications, you need to click the bell. After you subscribe, click the bell and choose all notifications. Make sure you do that. Okay. I want to give a shout out to our Twitch subscribers for your support of the channel. Thank you so much. People like Beautiful Profanity, Tech Slug, Ascertainment, Wall Street, Shaggy, Annie Cush, Jack's Animals. Thank you. Fweeky Beats. Theoretically Dan, Uncle Floyd GG. Thanks for subscribing over there. By the way, Betamax Bandito says you can get flesh-covered skins for AirPods. Interesting suggestion from Betamax Bandito. Thanks to our subscriber Girly Sound, Holistic, and all of our other AgriJag TV, who likes the black better. We're really split between the black and white earbuds in the chat. Thank you to all of our subscribers. Also, Flaps15 as well. And our Facebook subscribers, people like Eve Richards, Robert Real II, Jane Summers, Leanne Ticknor, Tommy, sorry, is it Tommy Soman? I missed it. I saw it. I got to find Tommy's name again. Lou Green. Thanks to all of ours. So Tommy Sonin. Thank you, Tommy, for subscribing. And all of our other Twitch subscribers, our Facebook subscribers, thank you. Kay Lowry, Body, Margaret Riley, and the rest. And over on YouTube, all of our YouTube members like Dean R., Chris N., Janet Burnett, Turned Off, He Is Risen, Marshmallow, Peasy Wheats, J.K. Senar, Barry, Mythical, Kristen Smith, Duck Prince, Aleppo Gambit, Lucky Minute, Jelly Plain. Oh, hold on a second here. Also, did I say J.K. Senar? And Sarah Milligan, thanks for being a member. Otis Fats, Go Niners, PZ Papa Zulu, James Whip, Beanie Weenie, NY Committee, Rob, did I say Bunker Buster? Ronald Kame, Bunker Bluster, Kate Hikes, and all of our other members over there on YouTube and all of our other viewers as well. Thanks for watching. Jack Savy, 303, 3 nails on the third day. Audrey Burbank, Melissa Terry. Melissa says after rethinking it, I think the black ones are more professional. All right, we got some different views. Different views in the chat. Big Fuzzy. Thanks, Big Fuzzy, over there on Twitch as well. All right. Freeze Diamond likes the black better. Yeah, Twitch liked the black AirPods better. Anyways. Oh, yeah, and as Tech Slug said, for some reason today, I think it's a promotion, Twitch was throwing in some extra bits when people donated. So thanks, Twitch, for the extra bits. Okay, guys, that is it for now. If you missed it, go back and rewind the news conference. And again, big thanks to Right Side Broadcasting for letting me use their footage. That is it for now. If there's big news later, we'll cover it. We will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here on Agenda Free TV.